Chamber Vice President Shri K. Maheshwari Sahab to come on the dais, please. और थोड़ी तालियां बजा दी, कम लोग हैं लेकिन please do encourage. And may I now call Ajay Mishra Sahab, our senior most man and chair for the day, to come on the dais. Please. तालियां कम हो गई एकदम से.
हर दिन देखते हैं कैसे तालियां.
कोई बात नहीं सर. अरे वो लगाओ यार, प्लेकार्ड क्यों नहीं लगाए? प्लेकार्ड्स लगाओ. जैसे से बोल रहा हूँ प्लेकार्ड लगाते जाओ. Maheshwari Sahab. And may I call Mr. Subhash Chandra, the former Joint Secretary, Ministry of Mines, Government of India, a dear friend and a stalwart from the mining sector and also environment side. He was also an additional secretary at the Ministry of Environment, sir. Yeah. So great, sir, to have him all the way from Delhi. He's taken his time off and he has come taking his time off from literally his schedule also. He's just retired 4 months ago. 4 months is right, sir? 4 months ago from his government appointments, but he is still a man who understands things very deeply, what's happened. So he is amongst us. We are lucky here at FTCCI and for both REPA that he is amongst us. Please give once again a big hand to him. Then we have our very dear friend. Actually, after meeting him, I have been astounded by the kind of work he is into. He's one of the topmost scientists India has a brain in the area of fusing in how to do application and bring things into action, basically from both renewable side and also from critical minerals and REE side. And it's Mr. Balasubramaniam, Director for NFTDC. May I request Mr. Balasubramaniam, please join us on the dais, sir. भाई ये ताली बहुत जोर से बजनी चाहिए. He should be actually encouraged very strongly. Sir. May I now request Srinivas is here from Solar Bull Energy. Can I see him? Yeah. Please give a big hand to Srinivas, one of the managing committee members here at FTCCI and also Energy Committee active member who runs a solar company called Solar Bull Energy. Thanks to small supports from these people, we could do this meeting. Please give him a big hand. He has joined us. We have also Mr. Sushil Kumar. May I request him from the Telangana Mines Department, and he represents the strategy for the state side on the dais. Have I missed somebody? Anji Ganguly sir. So we have, what is his first initial, sir? I forget. Chaitanya Mohan Ganguly. Ganguly Saab is from basically nuclear arena, and we luckily got a nuclear guy into it. Last minute I told him, please be on the dais, because I need to discuss thorium, which is part of our debate, and Saab is going to push further to titanium. ये भी बैठे हैं साहब भी, तो ये अच्छा हो जाएगा इनकी कंपनी. Please आइए साहब. You can take that side because then I can sit for some time here. हाँ जी sir. Thank you. So of course we have some solid stalwarts out there, MMS. We have got NMK sitting there, from the Energy Committee. We have our gentleman from NMDC. Can I have a big hand here? NMDC represented here. Surya Jedigunta is another star, here. And definitely Vijaya Nadella incidentally joined. She was in a tough situation. I came last time and she is our first fellow at REPA for full fellow. We have honorary fellows, but she's our full fellow in integrating AI and renewable energy. She's done her work already. She's already got her fellowship on 6th of August, but I could not physically give her that time, but see fate and destiny, and fortunate or unfortunate, whatever it is, but she had to come to support her father here. So she, in her, he's still going through ICU, se to bahar hai, but ghar mein hai. I met them and she said, I will come. So she's joined us. She's our first global fellow for renewable energy. Please give her a big hand. She's also doing a program in an immersion program in renewable energy and AI in a European university, and I'm trying to push subjects to her so that she can put a better objective, and she will be our chair for all these fellowships in the future. So her presence itself is very important to us. Please give her a big hand. May I now call my dear friend Mr. N. Murugesan, last but not the least, who comes on the dais. So I will have no chair here, no problem. But please, Murugesan, former DG, CPRI, Central Power Research Institute. So he has completely integrated the grid strategy, high voltage testing, and he literally brought the grid standards into India. The smart grid standards were designed by him. There's nobody else who could have done this. So please give him a big hand. So the right type of people, of course. Yeah, and we have Sanjay Gadale here, is another great man, Both Kirloskar and other thing, dear friend of mine, very active. He says, Professor, you should tell me a little bit in advance of such programs, so that I have a lot of people who wish to come here. So next time, hum aur usko acha karenge. We have PVS and Murthy. Murthy is a stalwart. He's part of our Anasha Foundation for a long time, and he was in Alstom, and then he became a vice president with Voith. Voith is a world leader in hydro. It is belonging to the family of this hydropower people itself, because the turbines are named, Pelton and Francis, they are named from the family of Voith actually. Like Matthew, he made the turbine. Francis was another guy. So ये turbines के नाम ही hydro के आए हैं, ये Voith की इसमें से. जैसे I was heading MAN for many years. So MAN is a company, machine and fabric, Augsburg, Nuremberg. So the two cities pay. This was a factory. It was built by Rudolf Diesel. But unfortunately, Rudolf was shot dead by Hitler on the high seas. So after he was shot dead, who took it over? So somehow the plant continued until we got another great man, Gustavo Pilstick, was born post-World War II. He took this company further up. So it was Rudolf Diesel and Pilstick who established MAN in a big way. And Pilstick was a factory in Saint-Denis in France. And why I'm telling you this story is very connected. Because the only plant India had of a decentralized variety, its own power plant, was Yelahanka, 25 megawatt, 6 engines of Pilstick were powering the city Bengaluru. And that is gone. And that is what the blunder we are doing. Decentralized and distributed way to operate is the only way to bring things up, rather than only trust the grid. Although our friend from grid is here, we are not against the grid. We are saying, we had a small discourse with Bala. So Bala was very right when he was telling us there that it's not this versus that. It is how do you hybridize, or how do you contain or sustain what is there and add more to it. So I think we need to start, I'm telling the officers, start thinking decentralized. Our villages, imagine if each village produces 2 megawatt. We need only 10 acres of land. So if this is come low-hanging fruit, in 2 years, the grid will get almost 1240 gigawatt. You can make the math. 1240 gigawatt, you're making these solar parks. One solar park of even my friend Adani is only going to go to 10 gigawatt in Rajasthan. And then you will have a problem because it will be visible. So much of acreage of land you are taking. Like now, yesterday it's come 10% of Kutch's land is gone into solar right now already. So ye baatein aayengi. This will come. So government has to immediately listen to people like us. 2 megawatt if you put in each village. What happened? You can make it 4 or 5 also. And this could actually bring a lot of, and you don't have to go to only the big daddies. You will get entrepreneurs across the states of India. So this is the game. The game changer is you do decentralized hybrid energy, and that is the game for India. And today's meeting is very important meeting. I'm sending all this to the CEA and others because they want my input. They are not interested in this masala meetings that happen. CIA does, FICCI does, ASSOCHAM does, all does that. I have been not with these guys. I've been with the Indian merchant chambers in Delhi, in Mumbai. And the other chamber is this FTCCI. So give yourself a big hand, FTCCI. So with this today, our today's challenge in this meeting is, you have the brochures in front of you. If you pick up the second page, you will see 2 dimensions. One is critical minerals for renewable energy, and the second dimension is called rare earth elements. These two are completely not disconnected, but different stories, but they have connect in going forward in the entire renewable domain, right? So if you look at the top, you'll see in the top renewable energy material, you see lithium, you'll see cobalt, which you're seeing, Bala is actually dabbling with all these things, right now. So basically how to stop importing this. We are actually importing all of this, and then you go down nickel, graphite, copper we do produce, but then one of those Kerala plants is closed down by the private sector. But we are now we have a challenge for copper itself. The growing demand in electricity sector is actually going to push up more imports of copper as well. So manganese, without manganese you cannot make any steel. There is no steel production without manganese. And the only company that we have mining this manganese is Moil, which is in Nagpur, outskirts, Manganese Ore India Limited. Then we have aluminum. We are one of the top producers of aluminum, and bauxite also we are mining a lot, and we are a leader. We must continue to be not only leader, but see that we become net exporters of value added produce from here. So power sector will need aluminum also. We have chromium, gallium. I need not go because we are the experts. We'll talk about titanium. Very important, high-grade alloy, and Bharat Saab is doing a lot of work on it, so we'll hear from them. Thorium, my favorite. Without thorium, see, we have world's 33% commercial grade thorium. The information that we have from various sources is it could be more. But I'm saying what we know or what we can definitely develop is 33% of the global deposit. If we can commercialize the thorium reactor, decentralized, like we are talking of small modular reactor, I'm telling the government of India, I hope they will start listening, SMTR, because SMR may be a challenge for you, because if you do SMR, you are decentralizing risk. That is even more dangerous, because on the other side, handling uranium and de-risking it is going to be more difficult. While if you go to thorium reactor, smaller capacity, you can actually decentralize because the risk factor in operating with thorium reactors is much lower. And another advantage is it's raw material available with us. So why we are continuing to go to uranium reactors and going back instead of coming to what Homi Jahangir Baba long ago said, we need to get into hardcore commercialized thorium reactors. So that's an opportunity waiting to happen and decentralize. So SMTR could be a way forward. India could start developing the first SMTR instead of SMR. So that could be a thinking. Then we have, out of these, we have now the rare earth elements on the bottom, where these are all called lanthanides, as you are aware, and scandium yttrium add to it. So we will discuss, I don't know how much of this we can cover, but I can assure you that India, if you overall think we are not even 20% into reliability, as far as we are concerned, we are 80% unreliable, we have to import, and we have become great assembly country. I saw that entire graph in solar, because we made the solar policy long ago, when 100 gigawatt by 2022 was declared by us in 2013 in a white paper. The white paper was made by REPA. It became a landmark because that was adopted at the ministry the moment Tarun Kapoor became joint secretary, and I had Pandian on Gujarat side. So they both coordinated and they ensured that this whole policy of 100 gigawatt by 2022 comes in. But challenge was what? We said we need ingot silicon to electricity chain. What we did, we could not go to ingot. The only ingot plant now which has come, and I don't know whether it's a full capacity handling, is with Adani's. At Adani Renewables, Adani Green Energy and Adani Solar combined. But there is no other ingot manufacturing. We are seeing a similar capacity plant will come from Reliance Group, but even if you add both, we will not be more than 4 gigawatt. And I can tell you our neighbors, we started same year, 2013, my white paper was somehow taken away by the Chinese because they were fed by this German company, Bridge to India, this Tobias Engelmeyer, that fool handed it over, and they ran for their life. If something big is going to happen in India, they completely dissected my white paper, और उन्होंने उसके आगे काम किया, and they went into manufacturing. They read my entire thing, and India was still waiting. अब क्या हुआ कहानी देखिए. We started the same level. India put the largest solar park at 214 megawatt, advised by us, with Pandian and all, building that at Kutch, Run of Kutch, which you know as the Gujarat Solar Park. A GPCL was born. उसके बाद 10 साल तक that park did not expand. That is also a reality. But by the time China built parks, capacity were gigawatt scale, 1,000 and all. And only they got beaten up when our friends in Karnataka, Pavagada Solar Park, 2050 megawatt came. That was the time, and it was because of one small meeting I had with DK Shivkumar, where he said, I thought nobody will give land. I said, no problem, sir. Why you are buying land from the farmer? So he said, then how will you do? Then I said, sir, you should make farmer your partner. Because every acre you pay up. Then there was a benchmark got, 21,000 rupees per acre. That benchmark came out, and that became a model, and see the beauty of this model. Now there is no need to purchase land, farmer become partner. Now Pavagada, Badla in Rajasthan followed the same path, another 100 megawatt more, they became big. Then we got the story done. Now the private sector has woken up, because in Gujarat we are getting some 10 gigawatt from Adani, and we would see maybe 55 gigawatt from Reliance. They have announced last week 550,000 acres there, but my problem is with this only. I'm saying you are concentrating all the power plant there. If you don't have an HVDC double circuit lines in several areas to bring the power, you will not be able to evacuate. So my boy Vineet is facing this challenge at Gujarat Solar Park. He is the CEO of the Adani Green Energy. He is facing a big problem. Sir, वो हमारे पास ट्रांसमिशन कॉरिडोर नहीं है. तो अब जाके उठे सबने ट्रांसमिशन कॉरिडोर पे काम करना शुरू किया. तो इससे जिक्सॉ puzzle, we need to have a hybrid strategy. We need to have strategy all along. So large park you put, you will have the problem of exporting the power. So I think the governments should start thinking. They should work with MSMEs and smaller companies and they should look at this 2 megawatt model of mine. We have 6,40,000 villages. That gives you 1240 gigawatt. So if you want to go backwards, each of the areas, see, I can tell you hybrid what is happening. The hydrogen, I'll give you an example of what the great scientist Dasappa has done. We gave one 6th award to him in Mumbai. He is converting this waste to pellets at Indian Institute of Science. We went to the facility, me and Tyagarajan were there last month. So he is producing syngas first with a patented reactor. Nobody in the world has discovered this or invented this. He's done the job. Gas is syngas. It has almost 51% hydrogen. If I'm wrong, Bala should correct it. Okay. So basically 51%. Rest of the gases can also be used and extracted. But one simple thing he told me, Professor, if you're not ready to have a market for hydrogen, we can at least use this gas in a decentralized mode. And you can run your engines. So it's a beautiful idea because I come from the engine side. So I see this as a simple hybrid. I see if I put a 1 megawatt or 2 megawatt solar, I put in smaller area because that will be needing 10 acre. Another 2 acre, I can put a diesel engine, not a conventional diesel engine, which can operate on syngas, right? From one of the top, MTO or any of these players or Goscor or whatever. And I can deliver 24/7 electricity in the village. So see the potential opportunity in the energy side. Now material side also we should have opportunity. For me, even hydrogen is a material for me. I don't see material as only minerals mining. Even water is mining for us. We are taking out water. You are talking about converting water to, hydrogen. That's a topic which should be questioned. See, how can we convert water to hydrogen, splitting H2O without using thousands of times of energy than splitting the CH4? So this we have already written in a book. I have one copy today, but I can share the book physically. It's free for everybody. I can share the book online with you so that you guys can read. A complete roadmap is given in the book also. So, Tyaga, can we have? These were the 2 white papers. One of them was released here in this hall only last year. And this one was because of Tarun Kapoor. I did this white paper on Satat, 2020. Tarunji called me. Pandemic tha. And the meeting was done at the Ministry of Petroleum, but online, because we were sitting with Tarun Kapoor and his joint secretaries. And then this meeting was aired with all the oil and gas company together. This was a jigsaw puzzle, 2018. There were only 2 plants. And the plant was, Hyderabad man, Dr. A.V. Rao was handling that plant. The one was Varna Shatkari in Maharashtra, which was producing 4.5 tons of compressed biogas. And it was already going through IOCL to the vehicles in a test basis. So that plant was not in the Satat scheme. Satat came in 2018. So we said, if you don't include this plant in the Satat scheme, you're making a blunder because there's a pioneer already doing that plant. So it was included. And the second thing, that second plant happened was for the same company. They went to Rohtak. And Rohtak, there's a Kundli Maneshwar highway that has come. So this plant is very strategically located. So it became double the capacity. And we introduced the membrane technology of Evonik. You can see my patent members, that German company. It's a patented membrane technology. So they could separate and bring 99% pure, CBG. And to tell you very frankly, Dr. Baumgarten, who is there, he's not being supported because like us, there is also bureaucracy there. So Dr. Baumgarten has also developed a membrane for producing hydrogen. It's crazy. He is working with me. He says, I can get you another process, just the membrane will separate the hydrogen also. Now, the whole problem over there is the cost. Because if you use the pressure swing absorption and conventional technique, your cost will be at least 3 crores less. If you use the membrane, it's high. So nobody will buy the membrane. Same thing. That's how it is. So ultimately, the only plant that has got that membrane is that Rohtak plant of Spectrum Renewable, producing 8 tons per day of this CBG. It's a brilliant plant, worth visiting. We have awarded the plant. It is considered to be like a mother plant for CBG in India. In fact, with full technological integration. So CBG is also a success. But the second problem in CBG is, what do you do with the waste? Huge quantum of waste is there. So the other side was double whammy, convert that into organic fertilizer. So my challenge, second round, is fertilizer companies have not still come forward. They want to control their turf. They don't want to bring this fertilizer as a marketable commodity. So these plants, what they are doing, they are bagging it and mixing it and all, and they are selling it in Punjab. It is selling like hotcake. Varna is selling it to some farmers, but there is no marketing support for them. So this is a big thing. It's not only compressed biogas, it's also that. The second is, whatever you release to the environment, although this is green energy, whatever you're releasing carbon, you're releasing to the environment, you should find a solution for that. So these are the little things. Maybe decentralized carbon capture. I do not know how it will come, but the thinking is already there. But then this is much cleaner than using your fossilized gas anyway. But we will have no choice. than to get fossilized gas till we transit. So that transition period is another 5 or 7 years minimum, if we can do all this CBG thing. So these challenges exist for us all around. So I've just given you a small overview of it, and I think we'll discuss, we'll ask each expert over here what they feel and in their area how they can go forward. Before that, may I request Daga, do you have any lighting of the lamp happening? Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. So I was spending my time so that you guys do it. Today all have gone RE, no problem. So we'll continue the discourse, sir. So I will start with the renewable side because there's only one man who's fully, and two people on the renewable side rather, Mishra Saab from the government and our Murugeshan who fought things out. So we'll convert into panel discussion so it's easy. So if anybody wants to butt in also, please come. Make it exciting. Video is going on. Okay. Mishra Saab, my first question to you, you were in the government. You achieved a lot of immediate success at the time in rooftops and also the solar decentralized. So, and then I think that time when you came 2018 to Gujarat, you also received the award and you were one of the stars, at that juncture. So I say you went decentralized other than the big. So I want you to push an idea into this. How does decentralized way of working enable both power sector, renewable sector and also probably the mining sector also?
Thank you, Professor Iyer Saab. First, I'll start with decentralized renewable energy sector, where I was part of whatever was done here at that time. Just for information of few people who may not be fully aware of the statistics, in 2017-18, for 10 months, Telangana was #1 state in solar commissioned capacity. It was not my doing, first of all. I pursued whatever targets were given and all that, but it was the vision and the strategy of the then Chief Minister. Pushed solar at the right time. So that was one. It was done in a decentralized fashion. That I'll come in 1 minute. Second thing which Telangana got known at that time was rooftop solar. That was a new program, or I say it was given the push for the first time when I was there, and we became the leading state along with Karnataka to reach the 100 megawatt benchmark in rooftop solar, which was huge at that time in one and a half years. Not only the number game of 100 megawatt, it was having what they call the ecosystem, creating an ecosystem for rooftop solar. That means, for example, one thing was tying up with the banks, tying up with the integrators here. So that effort was started. Third thing which is not well known is Singareni Coal Company was the first coal company to work towards energy transition. In 2019, they agreed in their board meeting, I was a member in that board, to install 200 megawatts of solar. First coal company to do that. After that, now other Coal India and other bigger companies are doing it on a much bigger scale because they have waste land which they cannot use for any other purpose. They have cash reserves which they utilize. So these were the...
NTPC Ramagundam and BTPS.
No. NTPC did it... The NTPC was a much... I'm talking about the state. About the state. So those were the things which were done. See, NTPC has a separate branch now which goes into that because of the Government of India, this thing.
Yeah, you're right. NVVN,
so,
National, now NTPC Vidyut Vyapar.
So anyway,
they're doing the job.
So that was, then I'll come to the decentralized aspect. Here, why we were able to achieve faster. Because in 2014 and 15, 3,500 megawatt worth of solar projects were bidded out, auction. And 3,500, there was no solar park. There were 120 projects for 3,500 megawatt.
Right.
Number game you can all see, go into the average. But then more than 100 megawatt were only 2 projects. One was about 120 something and one was 155 or 160. All others were less than 100, and many were in the range of 20 to 50 megawatt. How it was done? I'll say area-wise, the transmission and other capacity, infrastructure capacity of the electricity department, the requirement of energy in that, the unmet requirement of energy, because 2014, some of you may remember, we used to have weekly holidays for the industry here.
Power cut also, weekly power cuts.
So, and see, urban areas also we used to have many power cuts, rural areas were left to God, as I said. So, in that scenario, see, all this was being attempted. So, the unmet requirement of the area, the infrastructure which was lying idle, so accordingly, proportionately, these for different areas, different capacity of solar was bidded out in 120 projects. So, see, our work was more at the government level, at the bureaucratic level. See, I had to pursue with 120 people which project is at which stage. And then there was a challenge because the rates were coming down. So the private players who had got the contract, they wanted to delay it because to get the benefit of it. Nothing against that. So that was the challenge with 120. Suppose it was 3 solar parks, you pursue with 3 people, 3 companies, job becomes easy. So my point is decentralized approach requires more effort, which many a times government of the day may not be willing to put in because they go by number game. For some reasons, there was a lull after that. After 2018, no new projects were sanctioned except Singareni and some very small projects. And today, I think we are number 9 or number 10. We are at the same stage. Last 9 years, we have not added 3,500 extra, which at that time, because of the push by the government, by the leadership, we were able to do it in about 2 years. Now I am seeing a renewed effort by the government for the pushing of the renewables. It is visible in the energy policy which was approved, clean and green energy policy, 20,000 megawatt in different sectors to be added in the next 5-6 years by 2030. Then the open access policy has also come. There are question marks to what is included in the policy, what is not included, and to the level at which it will be implemented. But then there is a push. I think this month or last month, the difference I am pointing out.
Yeah.
When they say 20,000 megawatt will be added, what is the effort after that? NTPC has agreed for, I think, 70,000 crores investment in the state, with 2,000-3,000 coming for water top solar, as I say, and other mixed solar and wind and other projects. So one company doing 70,000, 6.7 thousand megawatt. Then there's another company which is into the biomass to energy, 2 companies committing 2,000. So we may achieve our target of 20,000 in the next 5 years, plus some more investment is likely to come. But then what will be the effect of it on us as a state, finances, etc.? When this decentralized project was commissioned, 3,440 megawatt was achieved. One person was not able to commission the project at that time. We had a saving of about 450 crores by way of less investment in the transmission sector in 2017-18, 450 crores. And it is all documented. And recurring expenditure of about 50 crores per month because of less transmission losses. That was the...
That is like, exactly the point.
Yes. No,
Defrayment of costs.
I am coming to the present planning which is going on. I am happy that, say, 20,000 will be added through these mega projects. But then, many of us have not followed fully. We have now put up a proposal for green corridor to Government of India costing 6,700 crores for transmission.
Right.
Because of mega projects. See, because of mega projects. It could have been, see, some would be required, see, because cutting across the states when we are this thing. But then, if it was decentralized, the 6,700 crores may have been 4,000 or 3,500, it is anyone's guess. So this is my elaboration of the decentralized way in which we could have gone. Karnataka followed our model. In 2018, they announced the policy of 25 megawatt for each taluk.
Yeah.
How much they've been able to do it, I've not followed. But then they copied from us. Not in that scientific way of gap of the consumption and the infrastructure created, etc. I'll come to the rare elements and the critical minerals.
Right, sir.
At one level, I'll say, as per statistics, very few of you may be knowing India has the 5th largest reserve of rare elements.
Correct,
5th largest.
Correct.
But our output is only 2.5% of the global output.
Strategically kept low.
No. Why it has been kept low, I'm not going into the reasons. Our leadership at the national level was aware of the importance of it, not for renewable energy, but for other security considerations. Indian Rare Earths Limited, I think IAEL, that company or corporation was started in 1950, not 20, 30 years back. Initially, there were problems for 4 decades, but from 97 onwards, it is making profits. Whatever limited thing it is doing, it could have been doing much more. It could have been in the realm of or in the quantum of, say, NTPC or other agencies, but it has not. I think 2 years back, the data which I was able to read, it made a profit of 700 crores. Good, but not adequate. Why today we are like this conference is very timely. Because now, not only security by way of defense and allied sectors, atomic energy and other things, but energy. We have a target.
EVs.
Huh?
EV.
Yes, EVs. We have seen during the last 1.5 years, disruption of the supply chain in whatever form, how much it is affecting our supply of motor vehicles itself. Plus, the geopolitics, the way it is developing. Whom to believe for how much time, we are not sure.
This is the point.
So, in that context, but I will give it to the credit of Government of India. They have realized it. They have started working in their own way for that. National Critical Minerals Mission.
अभी आई है बिल्कुल.
This year it has.
अभी.
Wait. No. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm repeating. Timing of this conference.
That was
Government of India also waking up to it that Rare Earths Limited will not be able to perform up to the job required. So a mission mode has been put.
Yes.
And then a specialized cell is to be created and other things. And the way it has started, and now it is a geological survey, not with the Atomic Energy Department. Earlier, the Rare Elements Limited was in Atomic Energy Department. Now it is with Geological Survey. In last 1 year, Geological Survey has done few explorations. They have taken projects more than 1,000. But then few have already been success, and they will lead to results in the days to come in Rajasthan. I will not go into this thing.
So we have standards will put a light on it.
Which minerals are important, I will not repeat.
Yeah, it's okay.
That is all published. Whatever is with everyone, I will not repeat. So we have taken the right steps. How far we are able to go forward, in what speed, that is to be seen. And we should not fall like a few years of total no action like we have seen in Telangana renewable energy sector for half a dozen years. That should not be. I don't think that will be there. But we will, already I think we have had 1 or 2 MOUs with Argentina or some country in the Latin America with Australia.
That's still sir, hanging fire.
Yes, hanging. But
अभी कुछ नहीं है अभी.
No. But at least the policy framework and the push has started. See, first you take care of.
I'll come to the international one myself. Don't worry. वो मैं अभी national सुनना चाह रहा हूँ पहले.
That is where I start and I'll be.
I will educate you on the international बड़े थोड़ी देर में. Don't worry. But first I want the right people. I think I would like to have Subhash Chandraji's next opinion because after that we'll go to Bala because then I'll come to my renewable guys. महेश्वरी साहब को मैं आखिरी वाइंड अप करने दूंगा क्योंकि वही हमारे चेयर हैं आज एक तरह से फॉर द फेडरेशन तो सारा काम तो आई वांट सुभाष चंद्रा जी माय डियर फ्रेंड because we also collaborated in the National Mines Mission also at the time. इन्होंने काफ़ी काम किया था. In fact, इनकी ministry बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही थी, and he was one of the dynamic officers, I would say, who was concerned, although he was short time in the Ministry of Mines, but as a joint secretary, he moved the first real mines summit in 2018, and I partnered with him, and thanks to his encouragement that we brought two issues out at a time, one pre and one post. And that time, the country's mining objectives were actually sent to a new direction. So I would like Subhash Chandra Sahab to say कि वहाँ से जो छत्तीसगढ़ में हुआ, and what happened at time, we were very happy also जब वो हुआ summit और काफ़ी movement हुई उसके और अभी तक में what were your expectation, how it has happened, and pertaining to the topic of critical minerals, how do we take it forward?
Thank you, Dr. Iyer. In fact, as a natural resource manager and forester, my concern is to mitigate the impacts of climate change and how we address the global warming and the extreme weather events which are happening. In fact, this year, if you see, more than 735 extreme weather events have happened in the Himalayas only. So that, in keeping that interest, in fact, and we as a natural resource manager know that the nature has photosynthesis, in fact, the most efficient energy trapping by the nature through solar energy. In fact, so in our time when I was working in the ministry, I was fortunate to that new initiative were taken by the ministry, by the government of India, that NMET came there, MMDR Act was amended, and National Mineral Exploration Trust was constituted. So a part of revenues royalty was deposited in that, and in fact I was just reading that they have approved more than around 600 projects, for 587 to be precise, for mineral exploration. So this is a good beginning, and over the projects have total cost of around 3,000 crores. And out of that, around 300 projects, exploration projects have been completed. So this is a very good beginning. In fact, as Ajay sir has already mentioned, that we lost some time in the last decades where we could have been the pioneer and we could have even partnered with other countries and collaborated, where we could have been a major player in this. And energy is one area, because our fate of 1.5 billion people is dependent, 1/6 of the humanity, on that. We can't go back to the historical previous age when I was just yesterday I was watching the movie, famous movie Castaway. So the Tom Hanks was trying to ignite fire by rubbing through the wood and bamboo. So it was just by coincidence I yesterday was watching that movie after even second, third time, because it excites me when I am alone what I will do. So we can't go back to that. So energy security is one of the most serious concerns of administrators, policy planners, government, and those who are associated with that. In fact, the ministry has a limited role, because they can only make some good policies and try to invite industries and the specialists to work on that, so that we can. But that environment, I think, has not come to optimal shape. We feel that industry and our research institutions should have been more forthcoming in this, and they have partnered in this exploration, collaborations with major players in the world, so that the complexities of the global we can say politics, or the what is happening dynamics, that would not have impacted India in such a way. So still there is a scope when we can have a lot of players in our country. And like we have discussed with solar, hydro, hydrogen, so we cannot depend on one energy per se. renewable is the ultimate, we can say, goal, so that it makes the major part of the basket of energy. But at the same time, we have to see that we are not over dependent on one of that. There are CBG from and other options. They can also be combined with this, but we can't. In fact, spare more time in this. There is very much urgency. In fact, if I quote this from through the looking glasses of Lewis Carroll, where the Red Queen says, it takes a lot of efforts to stay at the same place. And if we want to go somewhere else, we have to do at least twice that speed. So this conference which you have organized with so many experts, I think there would be some roadmap coming so that we can
Sure,
think of big partnership, because one cannot do, either government alone cannot do, the industries have to be there, research companies are to be there, the explorer, the geologist, the mineral processors, processing industry. It has to be a complete ecosystem which is complementing to each other. That is, I think, I am more excited because I see that it will save our natural resources. We can tackle the climate change, especially the impacts which have been very devastating this year in the Himalayan states. So I think that at this moment I will stop.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Oh, sure.
One query I have at this moment. Is it possible, because this is, you're talking at the impact based on the recovery of rare earth materials through the mining activity. Climate change comes in at a much later date. Can we have some sort of a clarity on the demand versus supply, as well as the demand versus supply requirements for this country's strategic and the overall needs in the renewable energy and the automotive as well as other related sectors, for the critically identified 20 or 30 rare earth materials and their availability region-wise in this country? I mean, are we safe? That would be the question that would actually
I think it will proceed. Actually, we have Bala will be coming and this will be answered, because I think we need to go the next round.
One line answer. We do not have the required level of rare
वो तो है.
elements and all that.
That is
to
there.
meet our demand. Chronically short of what we require.
That is fact. That is a fact. But we will have a way forward.
Yeah.
What I am trying to tell you, this
input-output matrix.
this entire summit is for a white paper. Let me tell you, I have generated those white papers. It's the first time I am doing कि I am conducting a meeting for a white paper like this. Otherwise, वो series of meetings एक साल लगते हैं. But this may come quickly because I am interacting with a lot of people. So I need inputs here. So basically, it will all come out of the final thing and we'll go for it for sure. Because our strategy is, see, two things happened recently. If you see the US behavior for the last, about a month or so, it has been, I'm not talking of the political side of the geopolitics, I'm talking of the energy side. Two very major impact decisions have happened. One is they went wooing Pakistan, So they went wooing Pakistan because China, this is something which I can tell you, because government, nobody will talk. But people like me have to talk. The main issue was, there were two issues that were to be handled. Because China was already inside Chile. Chile is completely gone. I can tell you that Chile cannot move itself without the Chinese. There is another state which is all more or less was captured, but luckily saved itself because of Russia. It is Tajikistan. In fact, you guys may not even seen the story, but actually it was literally military went in. The Chinese PLA was inside, and few years back then, this guy Putin was given an SOS by the president, because they did not return a loan, and it was all related to this mining and other issues. Let me tell you, Tajikistan also had rare earth elements. So the whole thing was, what was captured during the time and what has happened of late is the pressure is coming on the entire side from Pakistan down to Shaksam Valley, down to Gwadar, coming through the Gilgit-Baltistan. So see it not from any other Indo-Pakistan perspective alone. See it from the perspective of capture of resources. Hydropower is being extracted there to bring in semiconductor plants right across the strip. So this is happening. So कुछ भी नहीं है सर वो. आपको बता रहा हूँ, what they have done is this territory was POK. Now POK does not belong to Pakistan anymore. Technically it is China occupied Pakistan or China occupied India. It is almost like that. So ऐसी चीज पे, and the man who actually understood that was Atalji. Atalji was very clever. He said we will keep the border as agreed border with us and we will start developing. If that was actually that meeting, it was, you will remember the famous Agra meeting. It was, I don't want to name, but it was scuttled by our own people. I don't want to name who did it. But agar wo Atalji and Musharraf had agreed to the deal, it would have actually never taken this entire border of ours away. So we failed in it because after that no strategic thinking has been done. It's not about friendship with Pakistan. It is about finding. I told Abdul Basit long ago, मैं तो कुछ चीज़ें बोलना चाहता हूँ क्योंकि आज ऐसे लोग बैठे हैं. I told Abdul Basit when he came to India in Delhi and this Neelam Deo organized that meeting. मैं उनके पास गया, मैंने कहा कश्मीर छोड़ दीजिए साहब, बड़े प्रेम से कह रहा हूँ मैंने कहा लड़ाई झगड़े की नहीं है कश्मीर. अरे यार साहब आप ऐसी बात करते हैं, कश्मीर तो मसला है. मैंने कहा सर मसला है, मिसाइल है, जो भी है, लेकिन आपके पास थार पारकर है, आपके पास कितना बिलियन टन कोयला पड़ा, आप 5th लार्जेस्ट डिपॉजिट है जियोलॉजिकली, लिग्नाइट और कोल के. आप अगर हमें बेचें और BHS से टेक्नोलॉजी लें, आपको चीनों के पास जाने की जरूरत क्या है. तो मेरे गले मिल गया, डैट एम्बेसडर पाकिस्तान मेरे गले मिल गए और मेरे को इन्वाइट किया, लेकिन मुझे पता है कि मैं जा नहीं सकता हूँ क्योंकि मैं गवर्नमेंट में नहीं हूँ. तो मैं आपको कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी बता रहा हूँ. Some things are there with me. When I open, whenever somebody triggers, I'll open this. The things is not so straightforward that we are thinking. It is an issue whether this what happened, the critical minds deal has been done by America. मैं जिस बात पे आ रहा हूँ आप देखिएगा, और ये आप अगर जियो पॉलिटिक्स को थोड़ा डीपली देखें, आसपास क्या हो रहा है, आसपास जो भी हो रहा है ना, इट इज़ प्ले. अभी इसको मत देखिए जो टीवी चैनल दिखा रहे हैं. What is happening around you is a play of fight happening in Asia between China and USA. आपको जो भी दिख रहा है आज, बगल में कुछ भी दिख रहा है, नेपाल में कुछ दिखा, बांग्लादेश में कुछ, ये है कि अमेरिका उनको बता रहा है मैं दूर बैठा हूँ लेकिन मैं बहुत कुछ कर सकता हूँ. और इसलिए वो माइंस की डील हुई, क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स की. तो हम इसमें चुप नहीं बैठ सकते. इंडिया कैनॉट बी अ पैसिव वॉचर ऑफ दिस स्टोरी. People in my government, if they take my video, now this video will go. Let them act. We must act ourselves. There is no friend or enemy here. हम अपने ही दोस्त बन जाएं पहले. So this today's meeting is very critical. I want to wake up my entire people in the center and everywhere, even the opposition. I want to wake them कि अब भी इंडिया को आप सेव करने के लिए जो काम कर रहे हैं वो करो. It's very important, sir. So with this I proceed. I want Bala to now put a light because it has come to an area where we were just having a chit chat. We have actually declared in the last summit here in August, 8th August here in this room, we declared the hybrid integrated renewable energy development. It was declared here. Singhal Saab was the last president and he released that entire paper with, it was PSPs and hybrid integrated renewable energy development. And I put the word national in front. So this is the mission. So I think he will throw better light on this because we have a right man to actually vouch for this, tell us how we can integrate because Bala as a scientist has been dabbling with how to utilize and apply indigenous technology, not depend on anybody, and actually develop from here at a low cost. So I want you to sir tell us how we can go both critical minerals and renewables in a hybrid atmosphere.
Okay, thank you very much for putting me around here. I precipitated here under a certain set of conditions.
I know.
The way we were working was to de-risk few things. Now, what used to happen was a bottoms-up approach in science and technology, except for systems level working in strategic sector, which is space, defense and nuclear. Space and nuclear had, more verticals, whereas defense had more platforms. Defense is much more difficult because of variety and the number of platforms that you have to handle. So the issue was that between these three, space and defense had too many critical materials to handle, whereas in nuclear energy side, they had a lot of things which they should not, which contaminates their system. They keep away from it. For example, even hafnium is kept away from zirconium. A lot of effort is taken to take it away. So, on the other hand, we have to deal with about 30% of the periodic table, right? Like that. Now, when you do bottoms up, what happens is, you start from what is available and say, I will extract this, I will do this, I will do that, etc., etc. So, you get into catch-22 situations. What is a catch-22 situation? You will get stuck with finance guys. They say, now what is your demand? You say, not much, this much, Ti-64 for aerospace, I need in-kernel superalloy, this much, blah, 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 all those things, etc. Okay, if you have to develop all these things, how much are you going to spend? X number of crores. They say you are spending 40 times, 50 times what you are, or 100 times what you are going to import. Well, it's available. What is the problem? So that's the first catch-22. So the capability itself gets killed.
Correct.
So capability versus capacity debate. In this debate, capability is non-negotiable.
Exactly.
Capability is non-negotiable. And that has to be kept alive. Okay, DAE had a particular DNA it did. He said, we will do everything ourselves. That was this. Space people said, they are all on launches. The dates are fixed, 3 years ahead of time they work. And their applications, launch vehicles, satellites. Very clear verticals. Right, so launch vehicle was delayed, but they didn't want to delay the other two, as a policy I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we went to Ariane, we went to Russians, and we launched. So if satellites and applications could go, and then what space did was they created work centers across the country.
Right.
And space and defense had project directors. There are what are called critical technologies which are developed, but a mission part of it is tightly identified. So there was a way of working. There is a DNA which promoted, space guys promoted phenomenal ecosystem development. I mean, we were one of the, near net zero work centers.
Right.
So for them, private or public or even an artisan working in outskirts of Hyderabad, they are work centers for them. I'll tell you an anecdote, then you will appreciate it. For them, launch is important.
Correct.
That's it. Yes,
Yeah,
mission. In fact, mission.
In fact, this is very correct, sir.
Very, very mission. In fact, out of many things, the mission. We might give a lot of excuses for a lot of in other areas, but I used to tell, why did we not have the electronics mission? Again, this FA problem. Sometimes I say that our finance systems and economists have not learned to think strategically.
Exactly. Linear thinking is there.
That not only linear, they're still in Adam Smith period of thinking, right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
So I used to tell them very clearly, and only people who I found, FAs, who are more progressive than even others, was in space.
Right.
They were the only guys who will tell us how to solve a problem. Okay, how many of you know the story of BrahMos? Yeah. What company is it? Is it a PSU? Is it what is the definition?
It's a joint sector game, right? Indo-Russia.
But what is it? Is it a government company? It's a private company? Is it a society? Is it a trust? What is it?
It's
legal
interesting.
person definition de dijiye.
It is just a JV, sir.
No.
No idea.
It is BrahMos Aerospace Private Limited.
Right. That's right. It's a private limited company between India and Russia.
This is how it is registered as a company.
Correct.
Who is the promoter? Government. Who is the consumer? Government.
Yes.
But it is a
Private limited.
private company. Now, who gave the solution? There was one FA called Ramanathan. He was also in my governing council. He taught me a lot of things. And Kalam would not let him go out of DRDO for 10 years.
Right.
Ever. Then he became Deputy Controller General. Right? So what happened was, why I am saying is form follow. We need structures, right, to solve problems. If I take more time,
You must
please
don't worry, sir.
cut me off.
Don't worry, sir. Go ahead. Interesting it is.
There are things. So form follows function. So what was the issue was, we had an integrated missile program, but the Prithvi missile was not sufficient in the sense the range and the number of vehicles that you have to carry to launch, all those things were difficult. Well, we had a lot of other versions, surface to air missile, this, that thing, etc., anti-tank, now, a number of things were there as per a particular function. You need the function to be defined, the mission to be defined. So we need a battlefield missile. So there was a review done, and they found out that armed forces require this, and they need a more agile battlefield missile. Right? But how to develop it? But battlefield was more difficult, so they started with ship, which is big, can walk slowly also, right? Right. So what happened? They said these are all the technologies, critical technologies that are missing. We have to fill the gap. So what do? Why don't we join hands with another country or a company and do it? So they went to Russia, and then they said we want this. And the Russians asked, where is it? You tell us how many missiles you want, we'll make and give you, we'll sell you. What is your problem? No, we have to make it. We don't mind a partner, but we have to make it. What will you bring to the table as a partner, as a technology? So it was Ramanathan who answered, we are the customer. If I don't place orders, there is no need to make a missile.
Exactly.
and we'll go to that country and government. Next was France. That is ready to accept our conditions.
Right.
Fine. But the Russians don't know how to set up companies, right? They do what? Very, very difficult. Right? So what had happened? A project called PJ-10 was created. I hope you don't put it out anywhere in the public domain, right? So Indian government gave a project to like one of us, like a laboratory. The Russian government gave it to that laboratory. And we had some X number has to be made. And the first one was a naval vessel. And armed forces said, after trials of these three, if it is successful, another 100 will be ordered or 50 will be ordered. So the order along with the advance comes. You see how a company's concept got created, because today we come with solutions and chase, can I sell this? Here a customer comes and says, it has to be made, I need a structure to make it. So it was brilliantly done, and that's how this thing, BrahMos is Brahmaputra and Moscow, two rivers.
Yeah.
Two rivers, and that's how they nomenclatured it and whatnot, etc. So it was done in our backyard, in Hyderabad. And a number of systems, so we all also gave these things. Then they said, okay, now we need to, then this army version wanted, right? So naval version is very big, very slow. Here we need little more agility and this and that. That's how the land version, army version came. And then the Air Force version came, whatnot, etc. Now we are even trying to see whether we can even make it so small that we can put it behind a truck and fire.
Yes.
So in other words, the nucleation and growth, you should nucleate systems.
I think they'll look for drone versions as well.
Yeah.
Could be possible.
See, already that is the NIRBHAR missile, right? So the point is that, see, the point what I'm trying to say is that you'll have all the elements,
Yes.
but you have to know the output.
Correct.
And you have to have a mission for that output. You do gap analysis first and start filling the gaps.
Capability building is non-negotiable.
Yes, non-negotiable. So what you do is that I have to reach it, but I can take strategic partners. I don't have to do everything myself.
Right.
This is it. One of the problems DAE had at that time was they were doing everything themselves. And somewhere in the middle they also realized that no, we have to push out a lot of things. We have to become a system integrator rather than design, integrate and test. Each system has their own DNA and it has its own strengths and weaknesses, right? So all these three suffered embargoes, and DAE suffered the most. Space suffered the least. Okay. So if you say who is a bad guy, dual use, I mean, you don't have to, space and nuclear, defense and nuclear have no other use there. They make destructive weapons and systems. There is no other go. We might say we have civil nuclear, and we will say that we have civil space systems and all. Defense has nothing to say, right? So they were all under embargoes, and after Pokhran it became very
tight.
Very, very bad. And that gave the impetus for, I wouldn't call it indigenization. Can we work with what we have and work with what we get and still deliver the function? See, product or the output is not physical. We have to define the function it is supposed to do. That is why Palestinian things or Houthis can bring down $100 million in no time. Right? The function is defined. How you get there, you have to be innovative.
Right.
And you work with what you have. So Kalam one day told me in the night walks when we were going, you know, Bala, the best material for the aircraft is wood. Wood.
Oh.
It's the best composite material. No, you're all making it very complicated by saying carbon, composite, blah, blah, blah.
Beautiful.
Wood is the best. Right? Except that we don't want it to catch fire when the engine is there.
Right.
Other than that, it's fine. You separate the two, it's fine. And which is the next best material available to the humankind is the spider that we see on the corner, spider silk.
Right.
It is the strongest and the toughest material ever known.
Oh,
It's a protein. Right? Just 1 inch of that, the spider silk from Africa, I can lift a 747 jumbo jet with it.
Mind-boggling, sir.
That's
Mind-boggling,
my
sir.
strength
Mind-boggling.
and toughness. Toughness means resistance to fracture is also there. Fracture, crack propagation is also high. So these are all things. So we understand it, how it works. And now how to make more spider silk. We don't get more spiders, we just have to do the genome and understand how the proteins are created, and you have to create that protein in another way. Right?
Right.
That's what it is. So long story short, the first example what I told you is how form follows function. You have to give a structure. Now the BrahMos evolved, and finally they said, okay, finally they started interandrum because the Caltech was with working with space, and they had a lot of machines, and they had more space in Kerala, which is very rare, and it was taken over. It was sick, and then it expanded. Now it's another one in Nagpur, whatnot, etc. Finally they said, okay, finally we registered it as BrahMos Aerospace Private Limited.
Correct. Good example,
So
sir.
anything is possible.
Yes.
All it requires is not vision. In government, we require brilliant, strategically thinking FAs.
Exactly.
Finance guys has to be with us.
Paisa chahiye bhai.
They have to be with us. Otherwise, that's what I keep telling lot of places in finance. These guys have. I'll tell you another this thing. There is an. Have you heard of non-equilibrium economics?
Yes.
Economics. We all only know Adams with equilibrium economics, supply demand. There was a Santa Fe Institute where brilliant people, many of them Nobel laureates, used to get together like this, and right, physicists, mathematicians, all kinds of scholars, and there were also some economists, and they were the they used to be made fun of. You can't handle big systems. You are still in equilibrium. Learn non-equilibrium and how big systems are analyzed, how non-linear things, small perturbation leads to catastrophe. You are not able to analyze it. That is what your geopolitics, your Trump tariffs, your one oil well bombed in Iraq can change the oil price here.
Yes.
These are all non-linear effects, right? So we have to fluctuations will give what we call as non-linear responses in a system, in a complex system. That's how we study complexity.
Right.
We study galaxies, how galaxies are formed, how galaxies are eaten, whatnot, n number of things we can do, fine. But physicists know it, mathematicians know it, right? What we are saying is, strategists, we need more strategic thinking rather than this equilibrium, array, what is your demand? Where do you need to set up the capability? The capability is set up because we understand how the fluctuations lead to catastrophes. And that is where these critical materials come.
That actually goes to being able to handle what is known as cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
It's a part of your
Okay, so when there is no storm in the sea, you have to think about these things, not when you have a meltdown.
Right.
Right? So that is her. See, these critical materials have non-linear effects.
Exactly.
Now the point is that if I tell you the cell phone will have some 30 magnets, some of them are not even 0.1 mm size, and if it is auto charging, all kinds of things you can say. Okay, that is what this Korea, Southeast Asian economy, some of them did it, all these things in display devices, whatnot, etc. But if you take a I was involved in the last 3 years to pilot the National Critical Minerals Mission. We were working in Ministry of Mines to push all these things. So the 7 pillars, it was created, and exploration. For the first time, I was a very strong advocate of saying that, look, encourage private sector and the states.
Correct. This is right.
Otherwise, it
I
was
think
tremendously
this is
encourage private sector.
Without
and
private
the states.
sector,
It does not.
not happen.
For that, you have to change the policies, you have to change the acts, do it. Second thing is stockpile. Third thing is go out of the country and ready to invest. For that, it is
Yes.
it has to make it facile.
Bilkul.
Freedom from FA.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, no. So that is what it is. I did. And then recycle. Because then we came up with the concept of urban mine 20 years ago.
Great.
At that time, we never used to call it as critical materials or metals. We called it as technology metals.
Correct.
Now, 2011, you are calling it white paper. I moved what we call as a monograph note. They said make everything less than 10 pages. Nobody will read more than 9 pages. I said, I have 10 pages, first page is index. Okay. All right. So the point was that if you look bottom up, which is say we do research, we do this, that's not the answer. It won't work. Let us say we have to go to moon, or let us say I need Gaganyaan, I need a space station. That's it. Like that we have to define in this also. That is why I said it has to be a mission. Output-based planning of inputs. Get the ducks in the row.
Exactly.
So the word mission, I don't know how long I've been pushing for that word to get into this thing. Otherwise, they were only talking about an act, this, that. No, mission. Mission is very important. If you look at it, even other countries don't have the word mission in their critical materials, this thing, right? US had Inflation Reduction Act or something like that, Biden brought it. Right? So I was very adamant on the word mission for a long time, and when we had meetings and make presentations in PMO and all those things, we used to say that mission is important because we missed many things. We missed a lot of revolutions. If electronics mission had come earlier, we would be in a different place. And what was killed was, what is our requirement? It is very small. Why do you need to buy it? So, non-negotiable capability building means you have to spend money.
Yes.
Now, I would even ask, our IT sector did not spend their cognitive energies, even if they don't have to even get a Google done. But if they had done something in critical materials or something, it would have been great. See, Warren Buffett went and took out 1/4 of the supply of silver in the world and put it in a warehouse. Silver prices shot up. You have other issues. That's what I mean by fluctuations, non-linear systems, right? Why is silver at 1 lakh? It need not be at 1 lakh. It is artificially kept at 1 lakh. Okay. Let us leave that alone. Now let us come to the next. What is our strength? Let us go back to the Brahmosuri. Our strength is, we are consumption-based economy, market.
Correct.
Why are we giving away our market so easily without leveraging it?
Exactly.
If we are coming in here and to selling it to me, I have some conditions. I have placed the maximum number of aircraft orders with Boeing in its history.
Correct.
And today some chota fellows are going and putting some 150 planes or whatever it is. It makes a noise. But we placed the largest, Indigo plus Air India, I think, placed the largest ever orders together. Yes. And also with Airbus also. What did we leverage?
Nothing.
We never leveraged anything, right? Fine. Now what is our problem? Okay, let us say, now amongst these critical materials, we don't worry about EV. Heavens are not going to fall if we don't have electric vehicles for another 3 or 4 years.
This is the most important point.
That is one. And not only that, whatever little we are trying to do is nothing. It is like just, in Tamil we have a saying, we take that ying and put it in sea water and try to spice it up. It won't happen. Right? It won't happen. Right?
Correct.
What will go wrong if another 3 years our EV is delayed or not even? Nothing.
Nothing, sir.
But on the other hand, if you go for a strong hybrid, I can reduce my fossil fuel consumption import by 20%. Easily I'll reduce it by 20%.
Easily.
Right? That would have been a much better strategy And even our oil import bill also would have come. Or you buy the same oil, sell it as a
Kiसी को
refined
भेजो,
product.
process करो, भेजो ना.
Refined product, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
you are already developed the capacities.
Yes.
So in other words, what was the mistake? Niti Aayog made a blunder. We were all pushing for strong hybrid. And Toyota was the leader in hybrid, so the companies that were saying that, look, it will favor Toyota more. Okay, you don't have to do any favoring. Anybody do it, but just to keep only the GST or tax rate differential is sufficient. You
That's
don't
all.
have to give any incentive. Don't spend 1 rupee.
No, what he's telling
No,
us, you
ICE
could have
engine
promoted hybrid engines.
and the hybrid, strong hybrid, not the falto hybrid. Now, there should not be, the default has to be hybrid.
Correct. Default has to be hybrid.
Exactly.
Now, what is it? That would have changed dynamics. That means what? The strategic decisions were wrong.
Missing. They were
Wrong.
not there.
So the analysis is not that, okay, world is going to EV, we go EV. Our analysis should be, what is the EV for? EV is for reducing pollution, carbon footprint. So how do I get that thing? I just reduce the fossil fuel consumption.
Yes.
I'll get the same. I'll get it. Now, so I came up with an equation. Right? What is the equation? I said, the fossil fuel you'll save with 1 million EVs can be saved with 2.5 million hybrids.
Beautiful.
But it is easy to make 2.5 million hybrids than to make 1 million EVs
That's the
because
point, sir.
I have to import everything from China. Here I don't. I would have saved my engineering jobs, I would have saved everything. So even today I told Secretary MHA, let us come up with a policy for strong hybrids. Strong hybrids. I even, just as this equation, I said this thing, 3 liters of petrol and less than 5 kilowatt hour battery should give me 100 kilometers in a small car. This is my target.
Beautiful.
People can make it happen. It is easy. Then what? The greatest advantage is I don't need charging infrastructure in the beginning. I can go long distance, I don't have to use, and my 5 kilowatt hour, we can take care of my city travel, even if it required, I don't have to stop somewhere. And I would have done so much of region generation, in the region braking, I would have produced a lot of oil, a lot of energy. In just my braking alone, I would have.
Beautiful.
And what is the size of the motor that is required? 2 kilowatt. What is the size of the battery required? 1 to 2 kilowatt hour. If you want to increase the EV range, 5 kilowatt. That's all.
Yes, yes.
What is the problem? So in other words, we are not doing India-specific solutions. We are not. Okay,
But
this is.
because the why has not been asked. There has not been adequate argument and discussion amongst the panel. The Niti Aayog is full of.
No, why has been asked and they gave it to E and Y. Understand? And
you listen to him, what
that is the problem is that we see, I'm sorry, sir, I have a brown skin. I have a brown skin. So people won't listen to me.
Anderson Consulting.
So this was my push a lot in everywhere. So we are not doing India-specific solutions. Now that would have given us 5 years.
Right.
In those 5 years, our engineering on the hybrid itself would have taken our EV to a very high level. Now instead of Middle East oil, we are totally got sucked into a Chinese diet.
lithium.
Chinese diet. I wouldn't call it even lithium. Chinese diet. Everything has to be, it has become a Chinese diet. Now where is the freedom you want? At least Middle East will not come and attack me with an army. This fellow can come anywhere and do anything, right? So the issues, it is okay. That's much worse, right? Okay, that's a geopolitical other problems that we have to solve. Okay, let us come to this. Now what is the answer to this? So if you have to go India specific, I'll come to critical materials and renewables. For renewables, we can't put all the eggs in one basket.
That's the point.
So just like this EV, in hydrogen they are saying we'll go 100% green hydrogen. It won't work.
It won't work.
And even in that 100% green hydrogen, I have to produce electricity and then spend 50 kilowatt hour, I don't know, Saini can tell me more. 55 is the normal, 50 tak aa gaya bol raha hai, kilowatt hour per kg of hydrogen. And somebody has put a number in DOE was $2. You touch $2, we can change the whole damn scenario. Okay, what did Netherlands do? They have a lot of windmills, so they produce a lot of renewable electricity, and they are giving the electricity free to their homes and they don't know what to do with it. So they are taking water and making hydrogen out of it and giving it to Germany nearby. They're all their coal-based steel plants and coal fields, etc., etc. You change it. So the narrative is not our narrative.
Exactly.
On the other hand, agreed, I don't want to miss the hydrogen green revolution also.
That's it.
But I would have gone with blue hydrogen first.
Exactly. This is the point.
Why? Because carbon-hydrogen bond is easily broken compared to hydrogen-oxygen bond.
Exactly.
This is science.
Fundamentals.
I can't go against it. Number one.
But that science is only possible with educated people thinking, right? You can't have
Strategy, our strategy. That next. What would have done? That would have done. That would have done one more good thing to us. Now push all the research and push all the investments towards that. Means now the question is, what do I do? How do I convert? I have another advantage with say LNG, CNG. Liquefaction is easy. Transport is easy. I have all my terminals in the seaports are already done.
Yes.
Now what do I need? I have to answer the question. If I have to convert methane into hydrogen, what do I do with that carbon? I take it out later or I take it out before?
Or look at the intermediate of biochar.
No, this only take only CH4. Take only CH4. Now what happened? Now why did we not invest in prior carbon removal? So it's called pyrolysis of methane, thermal pyrolysis of methane. Now Europe has said that we won't give any credit for this, therefore that technology did not grow. See, we have to invest what is good. So that carbon is very valuable.
Yes.
That is a byproduct, right? I can even take CNG, which is liquefied and put in my vehicle. I can in situ convert it to hydrogen, run my ICE engine in hydrogen, and also hybridize it with a small battery.
Beautiful.
So I need that's almost like a small smart plant, a small microgrid, a portable plant. So to that extent, I can go to decentralization. So in other words, what do we do? We have ships that are moving CNG. We are getting it at a good price. We are making good deals. That would have given us 5 to 6, 10 years of breathing time to develop other technologies. Now we have a better advantage even in methane because I can get biomethane.
Correct.
So I can go, into my agricultural space and try to get it from molasses, sugar cane, whatever it is.
Yes.
But the point is land, food, water nexus triangle crisis, we have to handle that. We
Yes,
should know
that's
how to
exactly
handle
my
that.
point.
We should know how to handle. So this is how, so that means what? When we look at energy, hydrogen is the future. That will give us freedom from both China as well as
Yes.
Middle
Gulf.
East.
Both.
Because it is not geography dependent, geology dependent, even though there is white hydrogen sometimes found, but it is technology dependent.
Correct.
That's it. It's pure technology.
Bullet.
And that's it. And then we can be good at it. We can set up frugal systems. That is what it is. So we have to put eggs in baskets, which are more, no, we have to also get time. We don't want to lose out on how to produce, even break water also. We'll also do photocatalysis and all those things and things we can do, okay? So this is what it is. Now if you come to the other part of it, we have to per se go for a small microgrids.
Right.
However, you put it in a village or group of villages is one thing. Why? Because we have to know how to convert it into, whatever it is. 2G ethanol, solar, and storage systems.
Combination.
These things. And even a small diesel plant because I need to balance the load, I need to handle the fluctuations. So you have to handle it like that. And it is not difficult. We can do great control systems also. We can do whatnot. I don't want to go to AI immediately. Even doing this itself, and if I add biomethane, pyrolysis, so my systems are becoming more complex, but let us address those things. There's nothing wrong in it. So that is why I say start the capability ASAP, even though some capacities, big things are coming here, they are all for headlines in Economic Times and Business Standard. They are not for, this thing. So that is where we have to put our money in. Monitoring them, yes, today we should be able to monitor it better. If you are monitoring road laying of highways, monitoring 10,000 plants, we are monitoring so many bank accounts. Can't we monitor the 10,000 microgrids?
Absolutely right. Spot on.
It's easy. I can put it in the cloud. I can do anything. I can do all those ICTs available to me. Today I'm driving a car without nobody inside, right? I can do that. So in other words, you invest that also in the business model on day one. Governments can spend the money on that, to monitoring systems are more important because, it is the systems that teach you back. So we have to take the data back. And we can't take it in a linear hierarchical way. We have to take it directly to cloud, and from there you have to grab, and you should see the pattern formation, pattern recognition, best what is working very well in one place, can I go and transfer it to another place. You see, automotive OEM guys are very clever, no? They give work to all tier 1 companies. Somebody would have worked very hard and solved all the defects and all the problems. They'll go see him, pat him on the back and take all the data from him and give it to his competitor, another tier 1. That's how they are literally transferring knowledge and information from a successful, good fellow to other fellow simply because they have a system to do it. Create systems. So our systems are more important in not regulation, but data and its data analytics, large data analytics is very easy. So when I was listening to him, he says that monitoring of those things was killer about 10, 15 years ago means today it should be a jiffy.
Yes.
So let us put that on day one. That's it. Okay. Now let me come to, the message I want to convey is that we need multi-fuel solutions. It is a multi-energy point because we are dealing not in money, we are dealing in energy economics.
Exactly.
And energy economics, energy is directly related to entropy, and anything we do, we are going to create entropy, and the only way to reduce entropy, I can reduce the entropy in one small system and multiply that small system by knowledge. Knowledge is equal to negative of entropy.
Right.
That's the equation. I specialized in it for 10 years, so we try to increase knowledge. Knowledge means data to information to micro-knowledge to knowledge to wisdom. That means as we go to the level of wisdom, we don't need physical systems, we need only relationships. And finally, at the highest level of wisdom, we have only one law. The law of science is conservation of information.
Wonderful, sir.
That's it. Now, that is what we have to do. So in other words, I'll give you an example. If you do one micro system and keep on taking data knowledge out of it, you can reproduce it identical or with an adaptability to a local conditions.
Correct.
Easily. So that's how we have to approach even. That is why I said we need more strategic thinking on implementation and systems creation. And the first people we have to change are, initially all physicists and scientists had problems with economists. Now we need economists and finance guys also have to start thinking strategically. And wherever they have progressed, those systems have progressed very well. That used to be the answer. Let me come to critical materials or whatever it is. As I said, if electric vehicle is not made, nothing is going to happen. Don't worry about rare earth magnet. I had put the first rare earth magnet now. 15, 20 years, I was the only fellow who was making magnets in the country. Right? And quietly I was doing it for obvious reasons. But for whatever is required for important national missions. But what is more important is that how do we make it bigger? So there were 3 risks. Today we are seeing Chinese issues. Now move back 5 years, just after COVID or whatever it is. So I said, what are the 3 risks? First risk is supply chain of raw materials. Second risk is plant and machinery and process know-how. Third risk is, what is the scale at which you operate so that you can compete with China at whatever internationally competitive prices. Right. These are the 3 risks I wrote down. If you don't de-risk these 3, even if you have 1,000 crores, you will lose it in 2 years. If you want to start ab initio from bottoms up, no financial institution will give you even OPEX loan, working capital. First they will ask, how are you going to de-risk this? Now, the existing systems of DAE or defense cannot solve this problem. Why? Because an example was given, IREL made 700 crores of profit because they sold it to Japan as exports. Illuminate was sold. All the other materials were sold. Monazite is actually a residue. In that, thorium and uranium is even further down. So that means for want of that, they were handling all the other things. And for many years, they were throwing the rare earth chloride into sea because it is a waste for them. It was a waste, right? So because the concentration was how do I get my uranium and thorium, that is very strategically important. So from that, again, this thing, all these things the shift has to come, and the shift has to come much faster now. We have no choice. So in other words, what happens is, we have to see what we absolutely require, which is non-negotiable, and what we can live without and even postpone it. Now, if you look at very, very carefully, what we require are 8 to 10 critical metals only, which is required for our defense and space.
Right.
I need for my aircraft. All the things I need for my aircraft, all the things I need for my submarine, all the things I need for my these things. If you look at that, that is where our requirement was less, but it is, it can be easily imported. Now it is a problem.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Somebody can just choke you off. Just see, today, GE 404 engines, 404 engine, 414, see, why did we stop the Kaveri engine program? We should not have stopped it.
Absolutely.
Because they said that you spent 20 years and you didn't get it. Hey, Baba, people have spent 50 years and not got it.
Yes.
And we are working against embargoes after 98. So, the issue is that choose the battles correctly. Don't choose wrong battles and fight. So what do I need? Either stockpile or whatever it is. Get important metals. I'll list it out for you. First, I need not rare earth. I need tungsten.
Beautiful.
I need nickel. I need cobalt. I need molybdenum. I need niobium. These 5. There's one more 6. This is non-negotiable minimum. It will have a lot of other, it goes to petrochemical catalyst, it will go to biomedical, it goes to so many other things. There are
Multiple
15.
uses there.
You'll see in the NCEMM 15 categories are listed. I mean, I've listed in the policy paper as 15 sectors. It's actually, they're all my own words. If you see many of them, what I'm speaking today is sitting in that. It is not, don't do bottoms up, do top down and link it to the bottom.
Correct.
In mapping it. We need a mission. So what is the output of the mission? I need a nickel plant. I'm not worried if GSI is going to find it today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I need a way to get my nickel plant at least 2,000 tons or 5,000 tons per annum. How do I get it? What is the strategic alliances I have to make if I don't have it? Till I get it.
Right.
Can I start with scrap? Can I start with this thing? One day I had emergency, I needed nickel powder. I actually took a stainless steel rod and machined it, made scrap out of it, and then took nickel out of it. I had to solve that problem for space. Right? I needed very, very special nickel powder, 1 kg.
Right, sir.
Can I wait for years? No, I need it tomorrow, right? So in other words, we have to define plant. And the plants are there are only 10 processes, that's all. They are all called separation processes. There are only 10 of them. Of course, you have nuances in that. I don't want to go into the science of it and technology and engineering of it. Plant. Plant means what? Machine, tools and process equipments and test beds. We missed the industrial revolution long time ago when we are complaining about it. But why did we not invest in making plant and machinery? That's what I mean, plant and machinery. Tools.
That's what he's talking
Machine
about.
tools. Machine tools is just not lathe or subtractive processes. I mean, all process equipments. So every time you see, everybody would have imported. And we all people tried. In fact, BRC and others made electron beam welding systems. Some things we made in defense, all those things. So first thing I said was, I will make the whole RE manufacturing line.
Beautiful.
So that's how we kept the line alive, knowledge alive, as capability in a small plant. And today, Midwest is there, his representative is there. I told on a cup of coffee to Midwest chairman, he said, if at all we have to change and do new things, what is it? I said, put it in rare earths.
Yes.
Technology. So I said, one of the de-risks I will do is remove the plant and machinery problem. 500 tons to 1,000 tons we planned. And then that's the level. Then it has some 20 steps in it, each one we then go back. He's in the mining system also. I said, go and find rare earth.
Correct.
Okay, how much IREL can give? I said, IREL cannot give you much. Right? It's all right. That's all. So we need, at least 3 or 4.
Correct.
So acquire. If you have a country, can we go and take over? Let us see. Okay?
Correct.
So acquire the mines, acquire strategic relationship, so that is what it is. So somebody bought into it and we made a plan of 250 crores or something like that plant, and it is now getting commissioned. So the issue what I am trying to say is that start from the plant. But even that also what I will say is that, okay, magnet is just one part of many things. But if you look at it as a E-drive, you don't need magnet at all. We have a lot of other motor types. Why are we not spending energy? No, this only gives you high efficiency, this only reduces this. It's okay, we can reduce the size and improve the efficiency, even by other things. It is only, we have to use our brain, that's it. There are solutions available.
I think Ola is developing rare earth free magnet.
Not sir, everybody is developing because Ola gave a headline, you
sir,
read it.
every day next
They
paper, ma'am.
cannot develop it. They cannot develop it, they are asking somebody else to develop it. That's what it is. Right? So, that's what it is. So, the rare earth free the motor is sitting there. Our induction motor, synchronous, it is sitting there for 150 years. No big deal. In fact, I would say it's a kindergarten stuff. Right? It's not a big deal. But what is important is simply this, is to make a form factor and for an application and fit. For example, I needed to go for a military truck means I need a very high starting torque. I need a huge torque. So my copper rotor also I have to change it to another alloy rotor or whatever it is. So in other words, you have to put, as I told you, knowledge reduces entropy.
Correct.
That's all. You have to take one system, and of course you're going to spend energy to do that, and energy has to come from outside. Fine. But that's it. But you can start rebuilding. So the issue is that one. See, Tesla is after me. Aether is after me. I don't know, you can ask me, it was everybody, Ola to everybody, Maruti, Honda, everybody is after for supply of magnet. Next, the commission, we are just commissioning the first plant. But look at the way forward the supply chain, the thing. But what I'm saying is, I have started already on, absolutely get rid of all these magnets also and do the same thing. So that's what it is.
That's the challenge, right.
You don't work on a plan B, plan C on day one. Never work on plan A. Start working on plan B, plan C first. Plan A will come by itself, right? This is what it. Next, I told you 6. Add rare earth to it if you want, but rare earth is really not rare. Leave it. Only the HRE is rare. Dysprosium, terbium is rare. That's what it is. That we need for our fighter aircrafts and other things, where temperature becomes very high. We'll solve that problem also. The next thing that comes basic, lithium is sodium ion batteries will come. It will go away. By another 5 years, first lithium sulfur will come, and then...
But that is why we are suffering right now. GTLA is not able to make our turbine because the plates, material, they're not able to stabilize with that. It's not the power of the engine that they're...
Not the power of the engine, I'm talking about the batteries. No, material is nickel. Nickel, cobalt, tungsten, rhenium. That is what it, the material is the key and certain critical, it is not that they have stopped 20 years ago, no, the program is again getting revived now. But what I mean is never stop the capability, it was a capability, right? It was stopped, and all the metals, and then they said, what is nickel, you can import it, tungsten you can import it, molybdenum you can import it, cobalt you can import it, everything you can import it, rhenium you can import it. And it's okay you are importing it, but that is okay, that keeps you, but where is your plan B? No, you're jumping from aero engine to this, but what is your plan B? The problem is strategic thinking in finance, IFD is not happening. Plan B, they never put.
Exactly.
They never put.
That's a failure.
That is the problem. That is our biggest change. Problem is not a mine, sir, not a plant. We technologists will do that. But somebody has to strategically think at the finance levels.
You have to invest in it.
In that.
That's most important.
We have to invest in it. No, last, human resource we have to invest. Separately we have to invest in it. I'm not calling it skill development. It is a lifelong story of a person. If the person is sitting in any one of those critical missions or critical materials, it is a lifelong mission. It is not a job. It is a way of life. It's a way of life. It has to become, see, I gave all my 30 years simply because Kalam asked me, hijacked me from somewhere, and my wife has a saying, I should have leased my husband, I would have made more money. I donated him to... So that is what it is. And you won't believe. Sir, I'm 65, I'm continuing to work, right? Still, government has not figured me how to pay me from 60 to 65. So I'm working with zero salary.
Good. You're putting back to the society.
So that is what it is. Why? Because the finance cannot handle the problem, right? So the thing is, this is just, I said, okay, I sacrifice.
Monetization of knowledge.
That is what it is. That is what. See, the point what I'm saying is, how many sacrifices of how many people are recorded? You can't keep on doing this.
You can't do every.
You can't do that
generation
one,
it's
right?
happening. No?
So the issue that is there is, so this is how you have to start with a plant and then go down. You may not have resources, we'll increase it. Now, last sentence I will put. There were 3 advices given to me when I was a young man, when I came to Hyderabad. I never seen Hyderabad before. I would have been an academic and in IT Kanpur or IISc, which has given me a job without even I applying for it. They had some systems to take such people. Anyway, thank them. I was brought here by some stalwarts like Arunachalam, Kalam, Raksham, a lot of these people. They convinced me that we come here. I just said, what is it? No, we are thinking of a new idea of an organization. I said, fine. And we want a younger person, blah, 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 all those things. All right, so what is it? Can you do product, process, plant kind of technology? Technology is that. Technology is knowledge integration. Science is knowledge creation. You have to integrate many things to get technology. And that expertise is different. And technology produces a product. And product is produced by a set of processes. And processes are finally embedded in equipments.
Beautiful, sir. Wonderful. Well defined.
Now we need material, process, product, plant as the paradigm.
Wonderful.
And start with the plant and go. Now, this is what it is. This is number 1. So that's how the tech center at which I'm heading, I'm the founder, director, and still I'm the director. I don't know what has happened. But anyway, got twinned like that. Number 1. Number 2, second advice is, if you don't exist, when I mean individual or a family or a company or a organization, if you don't exist, is the country going to miss anything? If it is not going to miss anything, you don't have a reason to exist.
As simple as that.
So, somebody should value what you are doing and be ready to pay money for it.
Correct.
Against an invoice. Today we have a GST invoice. So I have to learn what is excise duty and get it registered and all those things. As an R&D center, we did it. We are not a laboratory. We are a technology center. So the first thing I said was, we need a metric to evaluate ourselves. Okay, we have to sell something and survive. That is okay, fine. So that is how the concept of technology readiness levels I introduced 20 years ago. And he said, Bala, keep it to yourself. Nobody will understand this. But you implement it. It is good. Karke dikao. We say that, right?
Aapke yahan gold hai. This is in Hyderabad sitting.
Yes, that is what it is. So this is last but not the least. Last sentence. He says, okay, your existential is this thing. Somebody has to pay for your goods and services. And do it. And last sentence is most important. He said, the money giver gives you the rules. You take government money, annual grant every year, you have to follow government rules. It is very simple. But if you don't take government money, if you are ready to do even government or government entities or whatever it is, if they give you order or anything, a project, then if they want it yesterday, you are going to determine the money and the price. So, shoe pinching. So, we said, don't touch government money, annual grant. You can take projects, that we will enable. Anybody can take projects, they are competing and taking the project. So, the very first project I had to take was to build a pilot plant for 100 tons per annum of electronic copper. Imagine this.
Great.
Like that, we went on, magnets, tungsten, this thing, that. Everything had a product, not metal as a product, but the product going into seed. The latest one we dispatched was for fusion reactor components to going to Cadarache, France. The cryo engine components and materials that went to Moon and Mars. That's another story, which Russians did not give, and we were to do it, and they estimated 250 crores for the plant. I, like a stupid fellow, said 25 crores, we can do it. Then Madhav Nair said, okay, it is error bar 10% where we did it. I should have asked little more money, but anyway. But that is what it is, right? So the point what I'm trying to say is that, yes, material process. Now Gaganyaan we have said, no fusion reactor. All of these things was what? It is the critical materials that made it available. So the sum and substance is that out of the 30, more than 15 of them, 20 of them are minor metals occurring in the base metal circuit.
Right.
That means when you are having aluminum or copper or lead or zinc, in that circuit it is sitting there, you have to take it out. 75% of the molybdenum comes from copper circuit. So if people have not been doing it, throwing it away, it's lost forever. Slag or tailings or whatever, wherever, or up, gone. You should have taken, but nobody was going to take it, so at least keep. Next, another 5% is available directly. Like for example, titanium or zirconium or whatever it is, we have it. We are not lucky with nickel, cobalt, tungsten, niobium, molybdenum, etc. Niobium to some extent, because atomic energy did some work in that. So what does it mean? We need strategic relationships. We need urban mine. So if you are, if you are having stainless steel scrap, it goes for remelting. If not, take nickel out of it. Like that only we have to think. Or very, very different ways. All our things. I mean, black mass should not have been exported. Or we are a biggest consuming market, right? So all the critical metals will come into every device we do. We have to ban the export.
How about recycling?
Sorry?
Recycling.
That's what I'm saying.
He's talking about that only.
Recycling, there are two categories you have to give. One is high entropy dispersion. Very small amount used in very large millions, very difficult to get it back. Phosphor on a screen, On the other hand, there are certain things which will easily come back.
Yes.
But the point is that you need a system to do it. Gate fees. Every municipality or every city should have n number of points where you can go and get this thing, what not. I mean, I don't know how many remotes we have, how many cell phones we have in your home, I don't know. We need it. So we need a system to give it back. So we need that system. That process technologies are easy, sir. No, it is not sustainable circularity. You can't sustain it also.
Now we have to, sir, go to the next speaker.
Over. I am done.
No, you can. No, it was all exciting. I didn't want to stop you. Anyway. Wonderful. It was wonderful. In fact, Saab has given so much of insight. If I had more time, I would have listened to him further. But a base, if you pick it up, what he has effectively said, you go, you build it. Straight away, build the plant. And then go for the product process and everything. It's clear. So I will give you...
Sizing to the plant you decide.
Yeah, you make at least. And the second thing is, hamara bimari of pilots. I'm sorry, sir, if anybody is hurt. This country has got this bimari, pilot. What is pilot?
Pilot plant.
क्या पायलट है यार? क्या बात करते हो यार? तुमको साला, you need to produce tons and tons of stuff, tons and tons of energy. You need to say, like I told you, 2 megawatt per village makes 1240 gigawatt, right? 6 for like 40,000 villages. You see the number. Even if it's 5 hours of generation, you are bloody going to completely take away, your whole capacity is 480 gigawatt, 485. Somebody said 495 now, but I'm keeping 10 gigawatt out because those plants have not come into the grid, right? So basically my point is, if it's 485 gigawatt, you're driving a 4 trillion economy, you must know what you missed long ago. This was my point in 2015 to Bhuvan Kanduriji, when I said India brand is Super Pong brand India. So now what happened? You don't have the volume, so you can't drive because you will be at 50% plant load factors. When you have an installed capacity of so much, you will not be more than 270 gigawatt, and your hydro has come down, so peak shaving will not happen. So you don't ramp up the grid just like that. The grid gets ramped up to go to the top capacity only when you have a peak shaving capability. So this is all technical, but this is commerce also. So like one subject he said, the other subject is you don't have hydro. Now you know what is the share of hydro now? It's barely 10%. So that is why we released in this hall the pump storage one. Pump storage, now when Pinapuram comes, what has happened? It is sitting in the National Green Tribunal.
It should be by default it should be
Yes.
plant.
So now,
Thermal plant should have permanent.
now what you have done?
Another thing, sir, nearly 40 gigawatts of tendering, they are rebidding again because there are no takers.
No, that is because of the solar. See, you please understand what I'm trying.
That's what I'm saying. Plain vanilla, solar, wind, discoms don't want to buy because they want 24/7.
Okay, I'll tell you.
So we need a hybrid where solar plus storage or wind plus storage. So these are the kind of new tenderings that needs to be done.
I will tell you something. The tender is a fraud. I'm telling you in front of it. Tender is fraud. What is a tender? See, I will give you Telangana.
Exclusive.
No, wait. Telangana, the grid has 2 prices. It is discovered, it is bloody data lying there with them. 4 rupees is the average price of the base load. Peak load में एक दूसरा price है, which is $6 to $7, which is also case of Andhra. Almost every state following. Why can't the country decide that at 4 rupees a unit we'll buy base load power, or maybe you put a target of 3 rupees 50 paisa, 50 paisa profit होने दो. You buy from bulk. Why only 2 parties, 3 parties? Call every party, say more than 2 gigawatt, we cannot do a deal with you. You think we cannot buy? There is some problem in the system only. I am fighting it out. That is also tender.
I think funding is the
That is also tender. When the price of discom on the base load average is 4 rupees, why do you need a bloody energy exchange in this country?
Yeah, the procurement process has to be.
energy exchange.
I don't need it 10% market. See, now I am telling Rajesh, all these Johnnies, including gas exchange, I am bringing into the country, I'll tell you this, I have not declared here, but I am declaring just what he said. 20 gigawatt of my gas power plants are lying idle. One of their, I don't want to name them, Saraf Saab was telling, I need gas. मैंने उनको लिख दिया. If it doesn't buy gas, then he's talking only. Basically, मेरे पास अब gas है less than the price of the market. I got 22 million metric tons. All of you heard this. Whoever wants to do the deal, tell me. And I will bring it from America and through Nigeria. I don't need Russians, nobody. My government has to wake up. They're saying gas नहीं है, price नहीं है, availability नहीं है. 10 साल 20 साल सुन लिया मैंने. अभी I have done the deal. अब क्या बात करते हैं? Oh, you're talking about governments? Governments have no power. The power is lying with people. You must go forward and do the deal.
See, I think that's what like.
See, it is not that two fellows. See, let me tell you with all due respect. Today, gas is coming from where? Are you aware about all your city gas distribution? Where from it's coming? We are importing more of it. So that is the reality. That's also material, right? So if right now we need LNG, you get LNG and process it and make hydrogen. Who's stopping you? Nobody will stop you. But anyway, we'll come to all that because I don't want to take much time.
We can easily produce hydrogen in Andaman Nicobar.
Why not?
Directly in Great Nicobar, get the tanker there, get the hydrogen there. You can do even steel there. Get iron ore from steel, get that. You can even produce the best green steel and export it out.
Exactly.
Doesn't have to come to the main
That's why, that's the point. See, so the next speaker I would like, I'm going a little random. I want Ganguly Sahab to put a load on the thorium part because now I need nuclear a little bit because wo abhi aaya nahi hai nuclear ka baat. Ganguly Sahab, can I get your views now on it? Only on the nuclear, thorium and which area you feel, because I am very fond of this thorium reactors.
Right.
As I told you, I need some input from you.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. First of all, Professor Iyer, he ran Vande Bharat Express. and the thing which should be for 3 days, he has capsuled in 3 hours.
I know.
And then of course Bala, as usual, very talkative. He ran the Kanyakumari to, I would say, Kabul Express sort of thing. So,
He's a very
but
special
he has
man, sir.
captured practically very important things, and in between I really admired this concern about the environment. In fact, I would like to start with energy security is most important, but energy security is also associated with energy trilemma. What is this trilemma? You'll have to protect the environment. And then energy equity. Just producing energy is not good enough. You have to make sure that the energy is distributed uniformly in the whole country, sort of thing, more or less uniformly. So this, in the trilemma index, India falls in the bottom 20% of the countries in the world. The first 20% are the Scandinavian countries, and of course North America and part of Western Europe. So we are the third largest producer of electricity, no doubt, in the world, next only to China and USA. But our per capita consumption of electricity is today only, it is 1530. It was only 1400, but now it is 1530, which is less than half the world average of 3000. So in order to have a so-called Viksit Bharat by 2047, you got to have the per capita consumption of electricity in the level of at least 5000 kilowatt hour per year per person, right?
Perfectly said.
And for that, today, if you see out of this 485, I'm saying 495, but he says 485. These are the recent data. Out of this, 50% installed power is carbon-based and 50% is renewable. But 75% of our electricity is coming from this carbon-based.
Absolutely right.
Carbon has now become the bad man. But carbon was responsible for the industrial revolution. You see carbon and petroleum, they shape the world today. India is going to continue with the carbon-based fuel, at least not, I would say, definitely beyond 2070, it is just impossible to have zero emission by 2070. How do you take care of the aviation turbine fuel? So we have to be very, very practical about certain things. And so it is absolutely essential. Today's solar and wind is likely to be the cheapest, but many of you do not know. I would like to share this. The cheapest electricity today in India is from the nuclear power plant, from Tarapur Atomic Power Station.
Exactly.
It is 1 rupee per kilowatt hour. Solar and wind is in the range of 2.75 to 3. And in
Sir, you will have competition with hydro.
No, so no.
I'll tell you.
So the
I'll tell
beauty
you,
is,
sir. भाकरा का प्राइस बता रहा हूँ मैं
Yeah.
आपको, तो सुन लीजिए, भाकरा का प्राइस 55 रुपीस पर यूनिट प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट, हाँ 50 पैसा, एंड देन द नेक्स्ट वन इज इज कमिंग फ्रॉम इंदिरा सागर डैम, which is also built by my guru Yogendra Prasad.
Yeah.
उसका 67 पैसा है.
Yeah.
मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ. So nuclear and hydro are the ones.
no, so what I am saying, that if you have to compare the price of electricity, you should talk about levelized cost of electricity. That means what is the total expenditure that you have made, including capital costs, operation and maintenance, salary, vagara, vagara, and in the lifetime of say 25 years, and you divide it by the total, electricity kilowatt hour that you have produced, right? And if you compare the levelized cost of electricity, even though nuclear has got a high capital cost, but the operation and maintenance cost is, and the plant capacity factor is more than 85%.
Yeah. Same with hydro. Same with hydro.
And you should also remember that nuclear is the only carbon-free option to generate high baseload electricity. Someone was talking
I agree
about
with you, sir.
baseload electricity.
Fully agree with
and
you.
the World Nuclear Association, the International Atomic Energy Agency, they have absolutely, there was no argument on that nuclear will have to play a very important role. Otherwise, the climate target, UNFCCC, less than 1.5 degrees Celsius. Although last year itself we have reached 1.5 degrees.
Yeah.
So this is.
Now we are seeing in Hyderabad itself.
Yes. Why Hyderabad?
Everywhere.
Last week in Calcutta, you had a terrible rain. And
Sir, whole Punjab is down.
Right. So I really appreciate the concern that we did mention about the climate change, because again I say that trilemma, energy security, energy environmental protection, and energy equity. This has to be balanced properly. Now coming to this, critical minerals, and I see in this list that you have not covered platinum.
Yeah.
Because platinum, if you have to go for hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, there are two types of electric vehicle. One is the lithium-ion battery vehicle, another is a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. There the anode material is platinum.
Right.
So platinum should, in fact, platinum group metals, those also fall in the list of critical. That is, I found that missing. I thought I will
Sure.
bring this to your notice. Now coming to his most important subject about thorium. Now there is a myth about thorium, and I will be very blunt on this. Thorium does not contain any fissile isotope. It
Exactly.
contains only thorium-232, which is the fertile isotope. That thorium-232 can be converted to a fissile isotope U-233 by transmutation.
Right.
Maybe out of my 60 years professional life, I have spent more than 25 years on thorium. My postdoctoral work in Germany was also on thorium. You did refer to the molten salt reactor, but this is a reactor of the 1970s, and that was a small demonstration plant at Oak Ridge.
Yes.
And that, did not see the light of the day, because all these molten salts, chlorides and fluorides, they are highly corrosive. So entire pipeline has to be made of his alloy, prohibitively expensive.
Right.
And that's why they gave it up. So now coming to thorium, thorium cannot be, the only fissile isotope in nature is U-235.
Right.
So you will have to start with uranium, and then you switch over. That's why Baba said 3-stage power program. First you
Exactly.
start with uranium, then the plutonium that you produce from U-238 is used in the second step, and in the third step with the thorium U-232, you put in the blanket of the fast reactor, you produce U-233.
The
With that
FBR
you go
process.
to the third
The
step.
FBR process.
Right.
The Kalpakam thing.
Now I would like to definitely bring here one very, very important thing about renewable energy, and I liked I appreciate it very much. You did mention about the hybrid. In fact, now very compact solar wind hybrids are available even for rooftop installation. And if you combine that with the energy storage facility, because the lithium price is going down, then it will be have a capacity factor much higher. So this is one option. And in that context, I have suggested also to the Department of Atomic Energy, I hope my suggestion is taken up in the right spirit. You know, when you have a nuclear power plant, you have what is known as an exclusion zone. That within 2 or 3 kilometers, you cannot have any, the entire property belongs to the owner of that particular thing. Now, if you see, most of the nuclear power plants are in location like Rajasthan, Gujarat,
Yes.
Tamil Nadu, and these states are also rich in solar.
Absolutely.
They're very rich in wind. So what I suggested, if you go to the Kudankulam power plant near Nagarcoil, if you see huge amount of, Tamil Nadu is the largest producer of wind energy, wind power. So what I'm saying, in the center you have this nuclear power plant, and in that exclusion zone you put all the solar panel sort of thing, and then in the outer periphery you put the windmill. And then windmill, one of the most important, we have 7,500 kilometers of coast. We have tapped only the onshore, we have not tapped the offshore.
Absolutely.
If you go to Copenhagen, the entire electricity in Copenhagen is from offshore wind power plant. So offshore has to be tapped in a big for the long-term sustainability. This is one. And the second concept, if you increase the stack height of the windmill by a few meters, then your wind resource becomes dramatic. And nowadays they are not thinking of that blade sort of thing. They will just take it by the vibration of this thing. It will be vertical, so it will not occupy. So I would say in the wind energy, definitely we should have hybrid. And in the solar, the biggest challenge is, let me share with you, not a single gram of silicon polycrystal or single crystal silicon is produced in the country. We are not even producing metallurgical grade silicon starting from silica. You silica and do carbothermic synthesis, and that also is, so we are buying the entire thing, I would say semiconductor grade silicon rod from China and making the wafers out
Yes.
of that, and then you are diffusing phosphorus and arsenic and making those NP junctions, and that's all. So we have to focus on that. Now, subject to that, the lithium is another very important. Lithium, cobalt and nickel. Bala did mention about cobalt and nickel. And lithium, I fully support his views that lithium is only in the ABC country, as you know, Argentina, Bolivia and Chile. And as someone was mentioning, that the whole of Chile has been captured by the Chinese.
Right also.
But the maximum lithium is in the spodumene ore in Australia. And this Australian, they are not even processing the ore.
Yes,
they are
yes.
just crushing and just exporting it to the China.
Right.
And the brine that you have in Argentina, Bolivia and Chile, the brine solution directly they just concentrate in the form of lithium carbonate and then exports it to China. So now we have, in the Kutch area, you did mention about the Kutch area, I have a gut feeling that if we do some kind of exploration in the Kutch area, there is a possibility of getting lithium brine. In the lithium brine, the lithium content is about 1500 parts per million. And I did appreciate the point from the mining engineers. I was fortunate enough to work with the largest uranium mining company in Canada, that is Cameco Corporation. You must have heard about it. And in this mining area, there are many byproducts of uranium, which are, for instance, if you take the Olympic Dam, deposits in Australia, it is basically a copper mine. But then along with copper, you have gold, silver and uranium. So like that, there are many mines. I'm talking about the two largest mines in Canada, McArthur River and Cigar Lake. They are in the Saskatchewan state, in the Athabasca Basin. And there you have the uranium that contains significant amount of molybdenum. Even on, Jadugoda, UCIL. Yeah, there is huge amount of molybdenum. The technology was developed, it was done on, as you said, pilot plant scale, and then further, it was not taken
I looked at the last 100 tons of it.
So
they gave it for total 1 truckload, 1 lakh.
Right. So I fully share, and I would like to clear this myth. We have so much uranium in abundance. In the 70s, 80s, uranium ores were not discovered.
Correct.
And that's why people thought about the alternative thorium. But today we have 8 million tons of identified uranium ores which can be recovered at a price of less than $130 per kg. In addition to that, there are secondary sources of uranium like in rock phosphate. If you take all this rock phosphate, they all contain uranium, about 150 to 200 ppm. So these rock phosphates are the basic raw material for fertilizer. So once I add sulfuric acid, then I would get the phosphoric acid. And then from that phosphoric acid, I should be able to recover the uranium and feed it back to the fertilizer plant. So the farmers will get, uranium-free phosphorus, which is the ideal material for them, and also phosphorus for the pharmaceutical industries. So these are some of the things that I share, Bala's feeling. Bala, he has integrated Kalam, Arunachalam, everyone integrated, and beautiful, and plus his own masala, and he has really given. So I think I thoroughly in fact barged into this meeting. I got this message in the morning. Then I called Mr. Tyagaraj, said, can I participate? Then Mr. Tyagaraj said, ठीक है, आप तो dais में भी होगा.
Because he told me, he told me about you. Yeah. Immediately I said he should be on the dais.
Yeah. So I let me share with you. I think I am the only guy who was born in dependent India before 1947. Anyone before 1947? So I have seen difficult days. I have seen food shortage. So energy security is very important, because energy security will pave the way for food, fuel,
all
electricity,
connected,
and water security. So if you focus on Bhaba's famous quoting, very famous quotation, that no power is expensive than no power.
Exactly.
That means, electricity has got multiplier effect. So you should not bother about the cost of electricity. You generate electricity somehow, and that will have multiplier effect in the food industry, in the fuel industry. Today, many of you may not be aware that the nuclear energy, gamma radiation, can be used extensively in nuclear agriculture for producing high yield, variety of seeds by what you call genetic mutation. These are not GM things.
These are not GM, right?
Just by the gamma radiation induced mutation. And then food irradiation and preservation. So these are also application of nuclear energy. Not just the nuclear energy for power and electricity, but nuclear energy also for food and agriculture, medicine and healthcare. How many of cancer diagnosis, cancer therapy are all nuclear energy. So this is something which we should not, and today I can vouch with, I can tell you authentically, please listen to me. Whatever uranium resources we have in the world, if it can be judiciously utilized in water-cooled reactors followed by a fast reactor, then it can meet the energy requirement of the entire world for tens and thousands of years. Now, these things this information, this knowledge is available to very few, because I belong to the first generation of plutonium metallurgists in this country. I worked in BRC for 25 years. We were involved only in the strategic section, all kinds of things. And then I moved into the civilian sector sort of thing later. And that is, the plutonium is going to be the fuel for tomorrow, whether you like it or not, because the existing water-cooled reactors all over the world, some 440 number, the natural uranium utilization is only 1%. Whereas if you use the first reactor, there you produce more plutonium than you could consume. This thing is more than 100%. So this is definitely the path forward. And my guru, Dr. Chidambaram, who is no longer with us now, he very nicely fondly quoted in many that nuclear is an inevitable option, and you should consider nuclear similar to the renewable, because the energy
it is renewable, sir.
Is so much.
It is renewable. It is not similar. In my book Powering in Crisis, I have written that nuclear is renewable.
One more thing,
there are only two men, sir. Listen to this. Two men who have written about nuclear renewable. Only one, me, and then Dr. Robert Evans, who is my senior at the British Columbia University. He's Professor Emeritus. So we are the only two people who call nuclear renewable. And all hell broke loose when we wrote that.
Right. So now I would like to take you back some 75, 80 years back. Did you ever think about other than coal and petroleum? It was all carbon based. Yeah. And then came the fission, nuclear fission power, and that revolutionized the whole thing. Trust me, and I'm telling you with a lot of conviction, because I'm directly involved in this. Fusion power will be commercialized in the next 25-30 years.
Possible.
Because today they are giving an input of 50 megawatt sort of thing to create that plasma, And out of that, they are planning in that ITER in Cadarash, where India is also a partner.
IT,
they are going to get 500 gigawatt. So maybe tomorrow, if nuclear comes into nuclear fusion becomes commercialized, and as you rightly said, hydrogen is also a critical material.
Yes.
So hydrogen to deuterium definitely is, and then tritium does not offer in nature. And we are thinking of lithium only for lithium-ion battery. No, lithium is the material for producing tritium.
Right.
It's not available in
EV
nature.
is the low-hanging fruit, sir.
Right.
EV is the low-hanging fruit. That
Right.
should not be done according to me.
So I would suggest that we should, when you think about this renewable energy and long-term energy security, we should not lose track of nuclear energy. Fission today, fusion tomorrow, fission hybrid tomorrow. And in the fission reactor today, you try to hybridize with solar and wind, because today
Beautiful.
we cannot think of independent. We have to have high capacity factor, and for that hybridization is a must.
आपको
Thank you
नहीं
very much.
Sir, I think,
I
think-
request actually my friend.
sir, time is a constant, huh?
Yeah.
NMK.
Sanjay was indicating that we should have an approach plan for our country with regard to what is the way forward. Yourself and Dr. Bala and Gopal Krishna, you need to have a
I think
you have got so much muscle of
for the
information.
EVs, right, there is this NMC, nickel, manganese, cobalt, and LFP. BYD is kind of propagating that. So these are the two competing technologies. So which
Daga.
one, will emerge?
Awards.
Shall I answer that in 1 minute?
First.
What was it? Lithium side is anode. Lithium oxides, we need a free energy grid. This is a cathode. On the anode KVA, we just push lithium in and out in a carbon matrix. Now, people to reduce the cost, what do they say? I have to remove the cathode active materials which are expensive. First it was LCO cobalt and NMC and high 811 NMC. So that shift gave us the another compound which is LFP, lithium. So LFP took off. That will only take off in a big way because it is available in multiple points. But the cost of phosphate and phosphoric acid has gone up from 4x. Okay. This is what it is. Now the next step is, can I get rid of anode part of it? Only lithium is going, and carbon part of it. Silicon came. Now silicon is little expensive of the way it has to be intercalated. So carbon will run for a longer time. It's only carbon. Anode is carbon, right? So we need special carbon. That's what it is. So pyrolysis of methane will give you that. The cathode active material what has happened? After LFP, sulfur is come. LIS is the one. So LIS gives you higher power density also. So all of us are chasing the LIS. The next thing is that all solid state battery is actually in today. So all solid state battery, people are thinking from the point of view of safety, gifty and all, but it made our life easier to get rid of this expensive organic electrolyte, which made this thing. Now that shifted, this all solid state battery shifted the manufacturing line from what was put so far into powder metallurgy manufacturing. So in other words, we should get into, that's what. So I was pushing in the government as well as in all my interactions that we leapfrog. We have missed something means we leapfrog. We can directly go to all solid state battery technology. That's it. You don't need any of the conventional plants of lithium battery line. There is one. And we can make a bigger size cells and directly go to it. That is what it is. So that is what is going to happen. So lithium sulfur. Next is sodium sulfur. Lithium sulfur problems are solved. The so-called shuttle effect are all solved with the membrane and whatnot. It's all done deal. Now you are going to see a lot of lithium sulfur coming out. It has even power density. So much so that defense guys are more than interested. So they have taken away most of the first offtake. Okay. So that is what it is. And sodium ion is just around the corner, even though the world.
It is coming, it's already coming.
So that's what it is. So by 2035, you won't see lithium.
Wonderful.
Just 30 seconds I will take.
Yeah.
Because you talked about green hydrogen. I would
No, I didn't talk about green hydrogen. I said we need to make blue hydrogen. Both of us are on the same.
Okay, but I am
We don't want
talking
the
about
green business.
I don't know how many of you are aware of what is called
Clean, Ye
what
word
is
seek.
called Nuclear Hydrogen Initiative.
Yeah.
So I would request you please Google NHI, and Nuclear Hydrogen Initiative means the classical method of hydrogen is electrolysis of water, right? And there the electricity price is very. Here we do produce hydrogen by cracking water at high degree, high temperature. So suppose if you have a process heat in a gas cooled reactor, for instance, where the process heat is 650 to 700, with that process heat you can crack water and produce hydrogen. This is the cheapest form
This is the best way,
of
actually.
producing hydrogen, and there's a plant available in China. They are going in a big way. Plant available also in Japan. Just Google nuclear hydrogen initiative, and these are some of the things. Yeah. Yes. So this is the some area which we should not lose track of.
Thank you, sir, for
Thank
a
you
minute,
very much.
because I will have to, time is not on our side. May I first try to honor our great man Subhash Chandra, who is coming. May I request the dais to please honor Maheshwari sir. Maheshwari sir. And Mishra sir. Give a big hand. We have also an honor for Subramanian sir. Dr. Subramanian, Bala Subramanian. So, I think, Subhash ji, आप इनको जरा honor करिए. It will be ideal. This is for their human contribution, lifetime contribution. So we generally keep some recognition in every forum, you know it. And we are very happy. हाँ जी नहीं ये देखिए इसके आगे भी बढ़िए लेकिन what I'm saying is we are very thankful that you guys are here and you took your time. अब मिश्रा साहब आपको जाना है या आप 5 मिनट और रुकेंगे? हाँ तो एक स्पीकर और एक आध स्पीकर और हो जाएगा. बैठिए सर. So now I give आपको निकलना है सर तो महेश्वरी साहब let's give the mic to you. थोड़ा महेश्वरी साहब will be talking about whatever he has heard and then we'll continue. We have 2-3 speakers more.
Yeah, the technical discussions that were going on, and the idea behind that is that there is a white paper that is required to be taken out, and we had the best of the people who are on the dais, Mr. Subhash Chandra, Mr. Balakrishnan, Mr. Murugeshan, Dr. Ganguly. I know K. Srinivas, how outdated he is, Mr. Sushil. They all have in-depth knowledge of the subject, and I'm sure that with all the people around and your idea to be floating a white paper which will give an ultimate result in terms of acceptability and implementation. I'm sure that from this platform you don't require many number of people, but all the people who are on the dais and off the dais, they are very, very capable and understanding, and they will be in a position to help you to make a wonderful white paper for implementation.
Thank you, sir.
I wish you all the very best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you for your presence, sir, for your patience. Very well said. And may I request, Murugeshan. Now I am going to be a little unfair to the next speakers. Please keep short time so that we can
3 minutes.
wind up.
I think.
Yes, Murugeshan now. And then we'll go to Sushil ji and
Good evening, friends. It is really happy to be here, and this is my second visit to this chamber. And for almost for 1.5 hours, 2 hours, I was completely immersed with the science topic, which we were never exposed to this kind of talk. We all talk about only technology and other things. So I am very thankful to this scientist, Dr. Bala Subramanian Saab and Mr. Ganguly Saab. It was very interesting. Coming to this topic, there's a renewable energy, and I work, we work only on power engineering. We talk about only technology and how do we keep the grid and distributing the power in a reliably and at low cost. That is our objective, that our laboratory and the scientists work in that area. And the recent introduction is the smart grid. Smart grid means you have to design your electric power system such a way that it gives you a power all the time 24/7 reliably and cost effectively. That's a true objective. You do whatever name you give, whether smart grid or flexible systems or intelligent system, market, anything, but objective is only two. 24/7 power supply to be given. That is the driver of the economy of the country. We go to anywhere, this power is the economic driver. So how do you keep your power supply all the time so that your economy going forward? Then comes the climate change and all such thing, which change the entire aspect. In fact, we are the third largest polluter and the third largest power economy. In this one, we moved from 30 units per person before independence to 1,500 units now. So always you see that if you compare us with this rest of the states, United States, it is about 14,000 units, 14,000, and we are somewhere around struggling with 1,500. If you go to China, it is more than 6,500 units. So it shows that if you want to develop your country, your consumption should go up. There is no other way. So at the rate of 7 to 8%, if we go to like this, as we mentioned in 1948, we may be touching 5,000 units. So that is the only way. So what is that source available? Available is only coal. That is the easiest form. Now also 60% of your energy portfolio comes from coal-based things. So you can do that, but it has an effect because power industry is the number one polluter. Next comes is automotive and industrial output. In case of America, it is automotive and industrial is the topmost, and electricity generation is the second one. But most of the countries, electricity generation using coal is the number one. So how do you reduce it? Then alternative is only renewable energy. Okay, renewable energy, what are the options available? Both solar as wind and other form, things like that. But because of efficiency increase from 11% to 22%, that solar power became feasible. Otherwise, it was available even for 50 years ago, solar panel was available. Because of the energy efficiency gone up, so it became easier. Now you can add power easily, 6 months or 1 year, you can put things like that. But it is uncertain. So how do you maintain that your power system cannot absorb this kind of fluctuation in a day itself? You cannot make more than 20%. The power grid cannot have a control. So what do you do that? You need to have a control. So we need to have energy storage is the only option. Unless otherwise you have energy storage sink, it is not possible. Even if you produce it, the grid will collapse. So we need to have an alternative of storage. Any storage is a must. Next one is that other option is wind. Wind is that area, but now offshore is coming up and it is floating power is coming up. Floating power, one generator can, as you mentioned, that 1 or 2 meters when you raise this height of this one, you will get continuous power. Even night also you will get it. So the storage can also be partly addressed using wind farm offshore. Offshore means you have to go few tens of kilometers. So few tens of kilometers you cannot have AC cable. So you need to have technology like HVDC. So you have to convert AC into DC, then transmit over line, then have an inverter at the surface. So that way most of the countries are going offshore in a plants like 1500 or 3000 megawatt. It is simply possible.
I tell you one small application of it. When you do ocean bed mining, we need to produce ships and barge kind of factories, and we need electricity. And this is ideal way.
Yes. So we do that. So when it comes to that one, so the battery, solar panel efficiency has increased. So it became usable, even if it goes slightly up. Otherwise, the area required is 50,000 square kilometer to 75,000 square kilometer you need it to get net zero. So that kind of area is not possible. As you mentioned, as our professor told that it should be mining, such a miner like a 2000 megawatt, 1000 megawatt or 500 megawatt or like that, so that this will not load your transmission systems. Otherwise, you need to produce a line, and line producing power is easier.
Line capacity.
It is not possible, and you cannot put the line that easily. So what you do, existing line has to be strengthened and power has to be produced, locally. That way it is possible. And thing is that the storage is the one. And thing is that we have missed the bus. When all the countries planning that, pumped storage is the basic fundamental. Without that, you cannot produce a smart grid systems. Now also 99% of your storage comes from only pump storage all over the world. Battery has not made any breakthrough on that. So we need to, as you mentioned, that a solid state, things like that, when it only improves, it is possible.
Mobility.
Like that. So we need to, and also policy level, we don't have even firm policy. Say sometime about 10 years ago, we have an agreement. Sir, 1 unit is 20 rupees. It is available. People are simply taking money. Now when the unit is available, 2 rupees. So we need to have a policy such a way that the private partner can participate so that he takes reasonable amount of money. And also we need to have the efficient plant production instead of having all importing from outside the country, or this batteries, or all such technologies. Even in inversion technology, we need to replace it, and we need to have proper policies. So that way
we have policies. We are giving free electricity.
On the other side, sir, I am paying 15 rupees a unit at Dombivli in Maharashtra.
We are at
18. So you can imagine this is the other extreme. So 2.5 rupees you produce power, you sell me at 18 rupees.
And
from Attak to Kattak, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, I want one grid from Narendra Modi, sir. One price.
Sir, in fact that all the distribution companies which have a agreement with this, all the generating companies who producing coal-based one, they having a value of 5 rupees 50 paise for 10 years, 15 years. Now the power is available at 2 rupees 10 paise. So what happened, this distribution company, they said, no, we do not want your coal-based power units. We will pay you the minimum charge of 2 rupees or 1 rupees 50 paise. We give that. So most of the plants are now shut down. And say that we need to pay 2 rupees for solar power plant and 1 rupee 50 paise as the penalty charges. Again he makes about 1 rupee 50 paise as a profit. So now it has come that, so all the plants are, most of the plants are shut down.
Captive power.
Sir?
Captive coal plant.
Yes, yes. So it has come to that level now. So the things
On
are.
the other side, I will tell you, Korba, we have got an advanced ultra mega power project.
Okay.
You know what is the price at which we are going to execute? It's an NTPC plant.
Okay.
I'm asking Gurdeep, my friend, how you can even look at this. 18 crore per megawatt. And there is another 200 megawatt plant which is coming via NTPC is given to Tata Power. And this plant, 200 megawatt, is only a hybrid plant which will include battery energy storage, which is basically our battery base. Then they have got solar and wind. You know what is the price for this? 18 crore per megawatt. Now after taking 18 crore per megawatt with asset life of 25 years, which is 25-year PPA, what is the tariff you are going to give to me? The bloody fellows have no answer, none of them. And the next thing I am telling you, solar they will, isko in Hindi mein bolta hai, solar we will have reverse bidding. More reverse bidding will go down 2, 3. So you are always, and then you will not buy my hydropower. You know why? Arey sir, wo 8 crore, 10 crore. Hey sir, 18 crore. 18 crore thermal power plant, and our 8 crores they have a problem. And now I am telling you, you cannot build a current because the cement and steel prices have gone up. We cannot build any hydropower plant less than 12 crore per megawatt. So levelized tariff at 75 years, which Ganguly sir was telling, for this comes to, I am telling you, less than $3. Even now, I can tell you that I can engineer it if I can bring finance as 2.5% in India. Bank debt I don't want, project financing which I am talking about, 2.5% landed. You know what is the cost of this bloody electricity? It will be the cheapest power in the country. And we'll have so much of peak. So you do, that's why I went after long duration energy storage. I'm totally against this battery business. Sorry if some people are feeling hurt. This battery is bullshit. This battery is a short time device. It can only give 3 to 4 hours of power in the day. And then they are talking megawatt hour, all these companies that are going around.
Battery is required for OTP.
Sir, वो ठीक है. वो आप आप
It is
मुझे
for OTP only.
nobody can convince me. See, no, so many places they are going, all these fellows, I don't want to name them, 8 or 10 companies that come to Maharashtra everywhere. CA chairman every time is telling आयर साहब कुछ करो, हमारे पास साला वो pump storage को छोड़ के दूसरा काम कुछ नहीं है. And they are fighting for it. नहीं, see pump storage आएगा सर, ये आप उस see we have done the job. What happened with our, see what happened in this hall only, we released the white paper. See what we have got, I got a promise from CA, this is what I am trying to tell you. 50 gigawatt already on the track, construction. It's not a joke, it's after DPR. Andhra did maximum number 24, our Ramana Reddy is gone, but Android cap is here, we're done. And it's only 3 or 4 parties that are in right now. So you can do more, 45 gigawatt ka hai udhar.
We need like.
So I'm saying this,
500 gigawatts renewable energy.
this meeting is very specific to go into this other strategy of critical minerals, and I'm totally with Bot Bala, because he laid the entire aspect of how you have to go. Basically when he clearly said you don't have to worry whether you're importing. Right now you provide it.
First make a plan.
Plant,
We'll have
सीधी बात
plant
है.
technology.
How will you go forward? So with this, I also announced that we have a new member from the Federation of Telangana and Solar Bull Energy. Please, can I have the certificate so that it is issued to them? We also have one small honor for our Raghu Reddy sir. We have called him as a professional member of our body. So first, Solar Bull Energy joined as a member of REPA. So it's the first step, small move. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Next we will be speaking, but can I have the Raghu Reddy certificate also? May I request Munish Saini sir to please come and receive Raghu Reddy sir's.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You have to lose a lot of weight if you are looking like him.
Thank you.
Sir, there are 3 areas which
हाँ जी,
I would
बिल्कुल
like
बोलिए.
to talk to you
बिल्कुल बोलिए.
in the present area, because I work in 2 other areas in renewables and all that. So things to do, chart is in front of me, and probably for your renewable energy in your white paper, 3 things I would like you to include.
Right.
Number one, from the solar,
I'll give you a chair.
you are to, sorry.
Sir, please. Sit.
Here is one person.
No, parwala. I'm here.
From the solar, you have to cut off thermal. The heat load, which we try to put it on solar panels because the cost is very less, but the efficiency is very poor. Maximum you can go 22 to 24%. That too, if the temperatures are high, it goes down. So we now have fantastic dish available, solar dish, which we have taken the technology from Australia National University. We have 2000 sun energy available at 25 meter by 25 meter space, which is 7 floor high, 25 meter dish, where we can give you 300 to 350 kilocalories of energy in a way, that in the form of steam. Yeah, concentrated. So, I don't know why the concentrated CSP systems were earlier deleted from the paper.
No, there's
policy.
I will tell you something once you finish.
So that efficient design is available now. Our boiler is almost now 94% efficient.
Wonderful.
And our sun energy is around 80% efficient.
Right. Wonderful.
So we can give you a solution where the thermal load can be divided and put onto it. Now, the another thing area where we have perfected, and we are now on the last stage of it, that is known as comfort air. So what concept has started is that the maximum problems in this climate is going on because of the air conditioners, the heat amount they are leaving. So in this comfort air, what is the technology? We have a liquid desiccant system which absorbs the moisture, and once the moisture is less than 25%, then what we do is we do the same evaporative cooling, bring down 15-degree temperature, maintain the, as per a curve, ASPA curve, we maintain the moisture levels less than 60, but between 22 to 26 is the temperature curve, Ashley curve, where you have very comfortable placement of yours, and also fresh air is always added into it. Right now in air conditionings, you have always the same air circulating. So with that, we are able to save almost 85% of electrical energy, and heat is almost eliminated. And what we do is that the desiccant is, again, we are able to concentrate it by the solar energy. We just evaporate the water which has gone into the desiccant, and we can reuse it. So that technologies should be encouraged. And along with me, since I travel all over the world, I have seen 2 pilots in a big way, very successfully working in the Canadian and US circuit. You have around 10,000 kilometers of a complete grid where the trucking moves, that starts from Seattle, goes to Vancouver, from Vancouver to Toronto, and Toronto to New York. So this is known as a golden circuit of trucking, which is about 10,000 kilometers. So one company has come up. What they do is that in the existing diesel engines, they are dosing hydrogen into it, as a result of which the entire pollution, which is unburnt sulfur and all that is fully decomposed.
Right.
Along with it, you have around 15% of energy diesel saving. So now in India, probably, you can have a small wet cell put into the engines. With that, a small dosing of this can go, and you can save 15% energy. And our first main aim is to reduce the pollution. So that pollution will be immediately taken care of. And in the infrastructure, we are not to spend any money, because the existing trucking, diesel trucks are everywhere,
Yes,
You
yes.
cannot scrap it. You will have to formulate some way out. You cannot replace with fuel cells. So these 3 things must be put onto your white paper,
Sure.
so that it goes on to the next level.
It's
Thank
very
you.
interesting, Aapka. I think, this is very fine. One interesting thing is, one of the gentlemen is working with you, and through Ramana Reddy, Midwest Energy. That is my dear friend, so Mr. Gadia, Deepak Gadia.
Yeah.
Deepak, I actually gave an award this year in Visakhapatnam.
He is with us now, sir.
Yeah, I know. So what Deepak did is amazing, because I always tell people, because Deepak has completely attempted to decentralize that place 160 km/h, and he's using solar thermal. And he was the solar thermal man of India. I know him so many years. So what he has done is, he's able to even operate a VAM machine, and he has been successful in it, in that ashram, Muniseva ashram. So that is a very interesting thing, because vapor absorption machines came to India during Thermax days. No, actually, sir, that time when Voltas involved there, they were not using this. In fact, it was Rohinton Aga of Thermax. I met him, and Rohinton was trying to get into this when he was alive, Thermax. So that time vapor absorption machines came, and that revolutionized the way we did air conditioning in the country. Because till that time, the conventional air conditioners were highly energy guzzling. Then this came in, and now this VAM machine is being powered with a solar thermal. That is the beauty.
So in all the kitchens, they use this.
We have gone one step
Ahead of this.
With VAM system, you are able to just maintain the water at 5 degrees centigrade.
Right.
You go below that. But we have developed an advanced adsorption technology where we are doing the phase change. In that absorption, we are able to go and take the temperatures to as low as to -11 degrees centigrade.
Right.
And there is no moving part.
And this is an Australian company, Sun CSP, with whom he is working. I think that's a collaboration that's come to Midwest now, right?
There is no moving part into it. So you can use it, just you need is the hot water. Either you do it with solar or you do it with the biomass.
Both ways, huh?
And the air conditioning system is good enough for 30 years minimum, because
Right.
there is no moving part in it.
Bilkul. So this is very interesting. So this side is also coming. So hybrid energy, when we talked about, is multiple solutions, not one area. So now let me get. So आप बोलिए फिर ये बोलेंगे सोलर की बात. नहीं सर, माइनिंग वाला आज ये क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स पहले है, तो आखिरी फिर एनर्जी.
At the outset, I really thank Professor A.G. Ayer to really invite me for this particular fantastic technical session of critical minerals and other things. And respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, I think 358 degrees have been covered with all the technical inputs given by the dignitaries here with regard to the plant and also the processing, etc. But I think the extraction part is left over, extraction of the minerals. And before I go into my subject of making the policies and law, because that's the basic thing that has to put in right place to have the things that are being talked about to happen. So that's the main part of the thing. Anyway, first I would like to wish everyone a happy Navaratri and blissful Navaratri. And the National Mineral Policy 1993. The then policy really made the FDIs and also multinational companies coming into India and invest for the exploration part, which is very, very essential for knowing the evaluation of the resource.
Correct.
Right? So the De Beers came, the Rio Tinto came, the Anglo-American company came, and Australian company, Geomysore India Private Limited came, all of them were there. And then that went on from the reconnaissance survey, what we call is to know the parent rocks, and then getting into the prospecting license to know exactly by drilling and other things, getting into the mining lease. So it's a seamless grant from reconnaissance survey to the mining lease. Now, I was involved in the national mineral policies since 2008. At that point of time, you must be knowing, sir, S. Vijay Kumar was the IAS officer with the Secretary Ministry of Mines. Myself and himself, we really both manuscript, we wrote the National Mineral Policy 2008, which was to be really laid in the Parliament. In 2011, somehow, because of political things, it went off. Why I am telling all this is, I was the Director of Mines since 2010 for erstwhile Andhra, involved in Government of India national mineral policies, because I had both the technical and legal knowledge on this particular thing. And then all the secretaries were appreciating me, including Balwinder Kumar sir, Arun Kumar sir, and also Mukim sir, Anil Mukim sir, and also till recently Kantaro sir also. So whosoever was the secretary, they used to call me and ask for the technical and legal aspects. Because why I specified my career from 2010 was, I sat on my chair. The worst part was, in the midst, that was the best experience for me. Galijardandi episode was there. So, Mr. Lakshminarayan, J.D. Lakshminarayan was the inquiry officer. I was the witness. I was supporting my cause of the files which have been processed by the officers, that they are right, and he is trying to prove it they are wrong. So, these things, ultimately when we come into this, why I am telling you this, the policy should be in such a way that it should be the entrepreneur friendly.
Right.
So that when the entrepreneurs sustain their establishment of plant by going through the stages of the extraction processing, then processing, so that the plant is ultimately for the end use is prepared. These things have to be very, very, because the mineral is the basic raw material for anything.
Correct.
So the mineral should cost at the lowest ebb. What is happening is the Government of India since 2015, don't mistake me sir, it has been going on only enhancing the prices of the royalty in so many ways. Actually, the Supreme Court order also was wrong. I was not happy with that. I thought the Supreme Court will come with the royalty is a tax, because I know the history of that also, because India Cements versus Tamil Nadu and Kesaram Cements versus West Bengal,
correct,
they were contradictory. India Cements with 7 judges judgment made royalty is a tax, and whereas royalty is not a tax was clarified by 5 judges judgment in West Bengal versus Kesaram Cements. That, basing on that, we prepared the cess on mineral bearing after the West Bengal thing. That was got challenged from the state of AP, because the iron ore guys and also ONGC people, they went against the cess on levying of the cess. And then it really came up recent past, in the last year I think it was announced that royalty is not a tax. So that being said, and also further the Supreme Court has given that all the states are at liberty to charge any sort of taxes. So what is happening is, actually the mineral should really have the conservation part first, scientifically mined out, and then see that that is also sent to the next generation by having the beneficiation of the low grade things and other things which are to be in place now. But what is happening is, it should be the cost of the mineral at the pit's mouth. That is, suppose limestone is costing around 500 rupees per ton at the mine area, 20% of that only should be the royalty.
Okay.
Not more than that. Inclusive of all. Anyway, Subhash Chandra sir earlier was telling about the NMET that is being levied on the entrepreneur. That is 2% of the royalty. And 30% of the royalty is on the DMF, District Mineral Foundation. All these things will get added. And in 21, again, Section 6, Section 7, Section 8 came, where additional royalty has been begun. Why I am telling all this is, the effective tax rate, what we call across the globe, is varying from 33 to 43. Whereas in India it is 65 to 70. So what will happen to any mining entrepreneur? He will have to seek, or forcibly he is driven to find ways and means how to really maneuver things, and sustainable things should happen in India, and then he has to compete in the world also.
Right.
So these things, no, so all this whatever we have really talked about, the progressive production of everything depends on the entire thing, on the policy that is being made by the country.
I agree with you.
Yeah, like Murugesan sir was telling, the policy should be proper. So if policy is not proper, then things have gone.
Yes.
So why I am telling this again is, since 2015 till date, the auction process which have been taken up by the Government of India should not have been a only policy for the grant of leases.
Correct.
Because across the globe, there are applications filed and auction is done. Auction is done for which areas, when completely it has been proved for a particular mineral.
Right.
Now, even for critical minerals, we are seeing they are going for MLs, which is actually not proved. It will be around G4, G3. It can't be.
And minor royalty on that should not be charged at all.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
See, the premium
Strategic
amount which has
area.
been, see, these are the things, latest tranches of 21, 24, out of which 4 are this one mineral, I mean ML, others are composite for these critical minerals. It was launched on 16th September.
Right, sir.
So these things, no, I think we'll have to really agitate. Actually, I prepared comparing the global scenario of the mining policies versus the India, and what are the negative aspects what we have. Even that I have framed out. I am trying to take the, appointment in the PMO, even to brief the Honorable PM. I have already sent the paper to the PMO office.
Right.
So I think
You can share with us
we'll have to have the hybrid process of grant. See, otherwise it will be difficult. So now coming to the stage of AMD technically, in Telangana they have found in 5 districts, there could be critical minerals. When I was working as VCMD for Telangana Mineral Development Corporation, AMD director came to me because he knows me because I actively participate in having the coordination done between the departments, and then see that all the clearances are in place. So that way, I think we'll have to have lot of things in place as the right policy for every mineral, because the exploration part is main thing, the extraction part is the next one. These 2 areas, if they are really minimized with the cost of production, then I think the other things will take off very well. And these things also we'll have to put in place. I'll give my entire presentation.
Sure.
And then,
Everything that is there.
yeah,
The white paper.
yeah.
With your permission.
Yeah, absolutely. I have already passed it on to PMO, not now. So I think we'll have to really sit together, see that the policies are made properly, so that all these things are really competitive, or economically viable for an entrepreneur to produce in India, and then see that we also compete with the world. Now when compared to China, why I tell you is, the iron ore which has been really exported with the raw material, even IREL, my Mishra sir has taken the example of IREL. IREL is doing the heavy mineral beach sands, and because there is one illegal mining conducted by one company, VV Minerals in Chennai, the entire thing is banned for the private sector, which is really, absurd. See, you have to have a machinery or policy that he has to be dragged on the roads again. Because of one fellow. I think even this auction policy came up because of Galjanatha Reddy sir. Because he has grown to a greater heights where he cannot be touched. And the entire industry is being made suffered. So which is wrong? No.
This is where policy has to come in. What's happened to MMDC and NMDC? These 2 guys should actually take the lead.
No, I'll tell you here, sir. I'll just tell you, Dr. Balasubramanian sir has pointed out one thing, that the privatization has to come in.
States and
Agreed, sir.
states are not
No.
enabled.
See, I was the only director in the entire country being a technical, I am basically mining engineer. I did my mining engineering from Osman University. I was the only guy, because now it is Telangana. AP was the first time, first it was to be called for the remarks. I used to give my remarks. When it was Telangana, I was the last guy. But still all the secretaries used to ask me, Sushil, you tell first. So that was the, reputation I had. So basically what we have to have is, just privatization will not be sufficient, sir. See, the technology transfer for exploration has to happen. The technology transfer for extraction has to happen. Technology transfer for processing has to happen.
And environmental.
Absolutely. That comes in all this. And then production also. That means the FDIs have to enter, the MNCs have to come, as was done in National Mineral Policy 1993. Then the conglomeration, coordination of the business, the production of any material out of the minerals, the basic raw material, will really happen for the good of the country, because we have ATMA-NIRBHAR BHARAT and also Make in India. Coining of words is very good, but in the mining sector, reality in the mining sector, I am not happy. I don't know.
Nobody is happy anywhere.
No.
Nobody is happy anywhere.
I don't know what is the experience with the Ministry of Mines, sir, with you.
So I watched that. Sir, we are in the power side. I can tell you, and I am a veteran in this whole game.
I know.
I put the bloody hydrogen in the engine in 1998.
I know.
And they are still trying to tell hydrogen में चला सकते हैं कि नहीं.
I'll tell you one simple example.
When the leadership is not educated, is bound to happen.
And one thing I can tell, quote, unquote this one, because as we have for Indian Forest Service, I think as we also have to propagate that Indian mining service also should be in place, so that the technical persons who stay, because the general administrator who is there as an IAS officer will not be able to make anything out of that.
That's exactly what Bala is saying.
Yeah.
Knowledge is accretive. There is no
Correct.
compromise on knowledge acquisition and growth.
The problem what he's saying is that, see, what happens when you are in wheat sand or whatever, APT and
Correct.
this thing,
Correct.
we should have become the world's leader in titanium.
Absolutely. That's what I was about to talk, sir. You clinched my things.
Value addition. He was talking about beneficiation extraction.
Exactly.
When I said the plant, I'm going down to the.
Absolutely.
Like all of them are separation processes.
Absolutely.
We have always had the lead open cast mine in
Yes.
in our reserves here. Then we were the first guys to actually build a railway line with Japanese collaboration for the Donovala mine.
I know.
Where is all that knowledge?
See,
That's what I'm saying. So the capability.
see, sir, one thing, sir, IREL, when Mr. Sir was telling about the making of 700 crores, it's only because of only the raw material that is being sold, no? Not the finished product. See, titanium metal industry has not been brought by IREL for so many years.
Even now,
Even now.
we were one of the first few to bring it.
See, actually, I gave for HMBS, when our present Minister of Mines, Union Minister, Mr. G. Kishan Reddy sir, when he was there as tourism, this complaint came from Tamil Nadu. I just went and wanted to wish him in Delhi. So he gave me that complaint about that VV Minerals conducting the illegal mining over the heavy mineral beach sand. And he was getting into inland. He was getting, the beach sand will happen only, the mining would happen between the 200 meters tight line and 500 meters tight line. He came into inland about 1 kilometer to 1.5 kilometer. So then he was telling me.
So this is the same Bellary case. That's what
Yeah, same thing.
Same. The whole thing is driven politically.
No, Bellary, this Galjadar issue you are telling. No, that actually happened. I know that because I was the vigilance officer from my department. So I was heading the team for conducting inspection. The entire boundary of AP and Karnataka was pushed into Karnataka, where for about 100 meters, wherein a big hillock came into AP, which was not granted to him. The illegal mining was done in Karnataka. The royalty was paid to us. That was the basic thing. So when earlier Honorable CMs, two CMs asked me, that is one was Rosaya sir and also Kiran Kumar Reddy sir. Then I told them, no loss for the AP sir. They have conducted illegal mining in the Karnataka. They paid royalty to us. And in the files, everything is right. Nothing would be wrong. So as the CBI wants, because what that is the charge sheets were made by pick and choose paras, not the entire file that has to run. So I was objecting all through against Lakshmanarayana.
My suggestion.
Sir. Yeah.
For rare earths, we need an independent
Absolutely.
authority.
Sir.
It cannot be with
Mines.
or mines or even with
No.
IREL because there's a conflict of interest.
No,
Even JV will become a conflict of
absolutely. I'll tell you, sir, in this.
That's why I said let states be enabled.
Yeah.
So just like MNRE.
Sir, sorry for interruption here. One thing is, when I did not complete Kishan Reddy sir's interaction. So he asked me to just go into that representation by Tamil Nadu Beach Sand Association. Then when I read through that, I could read within 5-10 minutes because I know the content, and then I told him, sir, I'll give you one endorsement. On this you write the endorsement, send it to the Honorable Minister for Mines, that is Prahlad Joshi sir. Then he said, nothing doing, Sushil, we'll have to really apprise the Honorable PM. Then only the Honorable PM has to direct the Honorable this one. You make me a note. Then I prepared how the HMBS should be. So comparing to the global scenario and then the Indian scenario, what role that private sector can play and how revenue that can be generated from them, how exports can be done, and foreign FERA also we can have forex thing.
Has come and another 8% is lug
That's what.
which IREL is going to take. So, and stockpiling also, I said there is a
And
problem.
that first thing is we will have to remove the clause of mining by the government sector. Private sector have to come in, MNCs have to come in, FDAs have to come in for technology transfer.
Not only technology, like a TRI, we need an independent authority.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Otherwise, what happens is it is one of the player itself is becoming a judge, jury, prosecutor. Then there is a problem.
Then no, even for beach sands, I was insisting, National Mineral Policy 2019, I was also there as the member. So I was insisting that beach sand mining plants should be approved by only AMD, not IBM, not Indian Bureau of Mines. Mera ho gaya. If it is, I think, no, it's fine. So why I am telling this is, in order to have a fruitful, what you call processing and the plant to be established by any entrepreneur, from the basic raw material of the mineral, any sort of mineral, leave alone the critical or any other mineral, bulk minerals, the policy has to be in right place in order to have the economically viable, sustainable, plant to be established in India and compete with the world. Right. You can't have the price hike and then you do all illegal things, no then?
So this has to be a very important section inside the white paper that we write. That is the important part. But he's pointed out the problem and the flaw. It's a systemic problem. It's a flaw.
This is because unless and until the entrepreneurs are there, the government is not there. If you are killing the entrepreneur, what they are thinking is, we are taxing the mining entrepreneurs because they are doing the illegal mining. The problem is that they black painted the mining industry, which is wrong.
That's wrong.
See, it is also should have certain policies like any other department, education department, irrigation department, anything. So it should also have a proper thing that he is an entrepreneur. If we really make in life, the government also will sustain.
Absolutely right.
But you can't have the policy of only taxation. You should have the policy of the regulatory mechanism also. That is not in place.
That should be replicated and that has to be independent and away from existing departments.
Absolutely.
Otherwise it's a problem.
Yeah.
Otherwise there is a DNA of the baggage comes.
But anyway, all these things I have already written to Government of India. I'll have to really.
I also chase the people.
Don't worry, we're all together.
No, it's a
very important thing.
I don't know. I say things openly.
I see, being government officer within the system, I wrote number of letters to Government of India. I don't hesitate.
It is required.
No, they have put me as a nominated member in the
From? NCMMA. So FIMI is working on that.
Committee.
Okay, empowered committee.
By name I have put.
Okay. Anyway, I have a lot of things in store to really tell the Government of India.
And you are doing persistence and persistent
Yeah. And this one, Indian Mining Service, which has to be there, technically people only have to head the government of India and also head the states.
Indian education service is also there.
Right. Right.
Very, very important.
Absolutely. No issues on that. Yeah. Anyway, this my.
Ordnance factory service is there. IOM.
Yeah, correct. Indian Ordnance Service Factory is there. Now, why I am telling this is, see, I'll tell you why Indian Mining Service has to be there.
Sorry?
Why Indian Mining Service has to be there, I'll tell you. Forest Department, forestry can be grown anywhere, but minerals cannot be grown anywhere. They are site specific. See, even Kautilya in the 4th century BC told, the mineral is the strength of any country, economic development. So when that much importance is there, when strict rules are there for forest department not to enter, that means the mining area also should be demarcated as a mining zone, and then 1 kilometer has to be left for safety of mining. Then the mining department only has to give NOCs as being given by the forest department. See, that's the most important aspect.
Control has to be there.
Yes, sir. That is nature has designed the site. We can't do anything about it.
This is a structural issue.
Yes.
And you can only base very right what he said. Nature has decided.
Yes. Site specific, sir. No. This is site specific.
Yeah.
So we can't move. It is there since millions of years ago.
You have to move the people and other things out.
Out. That's all. So anyway, these are my, basic ideas. I really can move hours together on these subjects, each of the subject, but we'll really interact, and whatever best I can do, I'll give from the policy side, how it has to be in Government of India.
Now the whole idea for me is I'm trying to integrate and connect the 3 sites, which is one is, the manufacturing side.
Right.
Which is this plant, factory
Right.
comes in MAFPOWER.
Processing, extraction, the policy.
No, it will be taken extraction as part of the process.
Part of the process.
Yes. No, extraction is separate, sir. The problem starts from extraction only.
I know.
Because the levy of royalty is there. That should be separated.
Makes it unviable from there.
Yes. For even getting into processing plant, it will be difficult when it is costly.
We'll push this agenda.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And my point is, let's give these guys at the PMO,
Yeah.
and even the while he's also critical, I'm also critical of Niti Aayog, because वो नीति क्या है ना, national.
मुझे पता है.
लेकिन नहीं आप सुनिए तो सही इसको. See, आप planning commission थे. You know what letter I wrote to PM? I said from planning commission you come back to policy commission. So
Yeah.
you have taken a step back. Take a step forward. So we have also written as an agency without fear. We are happy to see officers within the government writing. That is very interesting. So anyway, we are also in the same boat. We're trying to see that they don't lose the sight of the actual things.
Yeah. Because these things, no, after his talk, technical talk, I thought I would be doing that 1 degree, which is to complete the more. Because 360 degrees में पूरा technical आया था. I thought if he completes it will be 359. My 1 degree will play all the role.
I know. No,
360 degrees complete होने के लिए.
It's gone?
I have a query for you.
Because I'm waiting for it.
You talked about mining, but you didn't touch upon mine remediation and reclamation.
Sir,
That is I give, sir. It's a part of extraction.
No, it is not a part of extraction.
tell you, sir.
No,
I
it is
give
not a
you
part of
everything.
extraction. For instance,
Mining plant.
I will give you, once you have mined something, I will give you the example of typical uranium mines.
Right.
You have lot of radioactivity in the tailings,
Right.
in the form of
Right.
radium, and how do you manage those tailings?
Right.
So that thing, we do mining just like that,
I know.
and then forget that, so another is, you mentioned about mining, milling, refining,
Right.
production, and then making the final in the shape.
Right.
How about recycling and, re-extraction?
Beneficiation.
Yeah.
Beneficiation is the
Yeah.
same
So I would say life cycle
Low-grade
management,
minerals have to be
life
upgraded.
cycle management is equally
Yeah, that
important.
is equal. Absolutely. I agree fully with you, sir. This is all part of the mining and the management of the mineral.
Are we pillaring
For conservation for this generation and also giving it to next generation.
जस्ट आपने कौटिल्य के बारे में कहा.
Sir.
Kautilya coincided with almost towards the end of Bronze period and beginning of Iron period. So this was mining.
Correct.
These were the civilizational shift was there. But one thing I would mention, because what is happening in our society, the trend is everybody can do everything. So this is
TV anchors are
Yeah, so, in this I may also be included because a natural resource manager, though chemist by his PG degree, but anyway, my interest because of energy and ecological security, so which ultimately food security also. And water, it is because forests are there, so water is there. If forests are gone, then water, because we have lost Indus Valley civilization, one of. But just I was mentioning, one major component should be educating the society, because everything is bad. If you have more money, other people will say you are criminal. If you are working something, so every specialization is bad, because general people don't give respect. Mining is very, very specialized profession, and they should be very well respected by the society. Barring few exceptions of wrongdoing, they should not blame entire segment. And in fact, as Joint Secretary during my period, I said to the miners, please go to the society and inform them that you are doing a very good national service, and which is essential, because we can't survive without that. Our whole development is depending on that. So
what he said is right. Normally mining को माफिया भी बोला जाता है.
And judges are telling it in the court के आप judgment देखो, court के judgment आप देखो, ऐसी तरीके से forest, we are also sufferer. Everybody say कि forest मतलब पेड़ काटना खराब है.
Sir, I'll tell you with regard to NGT. NGT doesn't have anything. एक environmental के लिए लगा दे बोलते तो बंद कर दे बोलता हूँ.
I also applied for the expert member, but I was not selected because I had exposure of these multi.
Anyway,
sorry.
No. I fight.
Problem in India. Society में किसी को भी पता नहीं है what exactly.
This requires longer discussion we can have during. But I just say that out of 5,000 years of history, global history, you say, I am fully convinced that out of 5,000 years, 4,800 years, India was the #1 economy of the world.
Yes.
You read the golden road of this William Dalrymple, and we are not aware of that. And just after that, because of colonization, and we lag because of just a small country which can't even match the Mysore or
They made you think that you're stupid, and you're remaining stupid like that.
yeah. So the problem is, just barring 200 years or 5,000 years history, we were among the top. बाकी तो थे ही नहीं, stand नहीं करते थे. And unfortunately,
Sir, even when you compare with China and ours, we were equal during 97-98. अभी क्या हुआ?
So now
see,
the
now
problem is,
sir, I'll tell you one statistic, sir.
The best section of the society was who were intellectuals. They were guiding the society, and wealth was respected. Now everybody, like, you pay tax because miners are doing all the wrong thing.
That is
you
wrong,
pay more
sir.
tax.
That itself is wrong.
Yeah. But
Sir, I'll tell you one thing with regard to just one sentence about the critical minerals. China is, mining critical minerals to a tune of 60% raw material, and then 80% of the refined material, processing material for the world.
So they are the processing kings.
Yeah, they are. Even mining also. वही तो प्रॉब्लम है. अपन कहाँ है? अपन just we got this. Yeah. 23 में एक बुक बनाए, 24 में रूल्स बनाए, डिक्लेयर कर दिए 30 मिनरल्स. उसको क्या करना? अभी एक्शन कुछ भी नहीं है इसमें. रियल एस्टेट को बेच रहे हैं.
अभी और मत करो. अभी let's give chance to our man.
Yeah, please.
Anyway,
thank you. I think my subject is very dry, but it is very important for all of you.
The starting point.
Yeah, exactly. From there only everything starts. Thank you very much.
Now let me tell you, Srinivas is one of the very budding and entrepreneurs. In fact, both he and Jadigunta, we have been interacting. Now Srinivas is in the solar arena, mostly into EPC, right? If I see, and doesn't manufacture at this juncture. About 40 crores enterprise. So he has all this MSME related issues that he's been facing in, I would say the grassroots level. So he will throw light on those. That's very important.
Thank you, sir. Actually, Dr. Ganguly has mentioned it correctly that Professor Iyer has made a 3-day program into 3-hour program. So, as I could see, I'm really glad to be among the passionate government officers here. So, they changed a lot about my opinion about the government officers. So, it's very good to hear that they are pro-industry. I had always been saying that for a few unscrupulous business people, entire business community is blamed, particularly the politicians always name that need to be stopped. In fact, one of the letters I made the FTCCI write to the political parties pre-elections as a manifesto that they should promise that they will not blame any business people during their campaign. Of course, because of difficult reasons, the FTCCI has not written to them. But it's glad to see that kind of a thoughts from the government officers. I'll just give three minutes talk about this. I worked in fertilizer and chemicals, and then telecom, and then came to renewable power. In the fertilizer, when I was there, so 2010, my assignment was to explore internationally for fertilizer minerals like rock phosphate, potassium, or for natural gas resources world over to get fertilizer to India. We explored for about a year internationally to get rock phosphate from Togo or for potash from multiple countries. But after a lot of working, we came to a fait accompli kind of a thing that government is not in favor of importing fertilizer and bringing to India at a market price base, because they want to securitize at a fixed price to Indian farmers. Neither they have done any great exploration policy in India to securitize the minerals in India. The urea plant which was established pre-2006 or 7, still that there is no additional plant excepting one plant. So, and in terms of imports is increasing, and we are at a risk of any country. Now we have recently seen that fertilizer is at a shortage and farmers are facing it. So that's my background about the mineral exploration. As I could see that at that time my experience was this exploration is a long duration and high risk business, and a lot of governmental support and policy support is required, which a policy clarity for about at least a 10-year period is minimum required with a phase wise changes whatever is required, but that was lacking. And the investments are anywhere, it's a billion dollar kind of investments for any minerals or fertilizer related things. When we talk about rare earth minerals, it may be any kind of an order. So bigger than power.
More money than power.
Yeah. So second thing is I want to tell is about I worked for about Sterlite Vedanta group for about 4 years as a chief commercial officer. My boss, Mr. Anil Agrawal, was always in favor of lot of exploration about in India. Is always telling about coal exploration or copper mining or any kind of a mining, because they are experts in the mining sector. They are experts in the mining sector globally. However, in spite of his regular writing to the PMO and multiple people, the mining sector has not been freed. In fact, even whatever was available, like a copper mine of Tuticorin Vedanta plant, had been stopped because of nonsense political reasons. Today we are importing almost 40% of our copper requirement instead of securitizing our own thing. So that's the second point I wanted to mention. Third point is, of course, now in the last 11 years, last 14 years, I'm in the renewable power industry. So I could see some contradicting thoughts to mine, but it was glad to get updated from Dr. Bala and Professor that there could have been a requirement of EVs could have been preempted at the same time meeting the environmental goals. It's very refreshing thought to see. So, however, having said that, whatever wind turbines or whatever solar panels, whatever the critical minerals required, it's a very high time for India to start doing something about it. As I could see, I was having expressed a lot of thoughts and a lot of expectation from this mineral policy, but Sushilji is mentioning that it is still at the policy level after long years. Probably it is the same thing like Telangana open access policy, which is there for the last 2 years. Every minister meet at every panchayat level to state level discussion, they talk about 20 gigawatt, 5 gigawatt, 20 gigawatt. Not a kilowatt of solar plant has been approved so far. So I hope at least this mineral policy would be better than the state level policies. So structural changes, whatever is suggesting, I think Professor has a lot of inputs right now to conduct next level of discourse and discussions or a larger level of larger platform of discussions. I wish the white paper release and further process a great way forward for us to look forward to. Regarding MSc policy, it's a very large subject. I would refrain from talking right now. We'll talk at some other point. Thank you so much for having me here.
Maybe have a quick photo, all of us.
So, one point. That is actually, as rightly pointed out, for exploration, other mineral-rich countries are going about billions of dollars for, giving the money to the explorators for about billions of dollars. Whereas we have just planned for $100 million. That is around 700-800 crores. Thank you.